So, I have two things that make me feel old today.
Okay.
The first one is I don't know who.
6'7".
6'7". 6'7". Wow, we are so with the crowd now. We're so in. The first one is I don't know who Bad Bunny is. Do you know who Bad Bunny is?
The singer?
Yeah.
I mean, could I point him out in a crowd? No.
Okay.
But do I know of him? Yeah. I mean, I know he's a singer.
Okay. He's doing the halftime show.
Okay.
So that makes me feel old that I'm just like.
He's from Mexico.
He does have, yes, he has some very like I don't think it's Mexico. I think it's another South American
Central
country.
American,
yeah, or Central
whatever.
But I looked it up today, so that's why I think I saw it, but I don't think it was Mexico. But the other one is Taco Bell is running a special right now. Where they're bringing back classics, and the classics they're bringing back are from the year 2000. Which is
Hannah and I went to that.
Which
They've
is
got
25
things all over
years.
the place. They've got 90s,
yeah,
2000s.
yeah, which is 25 years ago, and it's like the cool. It's like the Cool Ranch Locos Doritos tacos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hannah got one of those, and I got. Yeah, that was weird.
And there's a 7-layer burrito, and I love both those things. And so I haven't been to Taco Bell, but it makes me feel old because they're like. Flashback to the 2000s. They're like, wow. So, I'm old.
That's what
Yeah,
determines whether you
We
were
went
old?
to Hannah.
Hey, thank you for joining us once again on the Unbroken Ground. This is another episode with Jim, which are always popular. Jim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm back here. It's still 90 degrees in October.
Yeah.
Is it October? It's still September.
It's not quite October.
Yeah.
So this,
well, that's how that goes
well,
here in Illinois.
we're fitting this in. Fitting it.
We're fitting it?
Fitting it in.
Yeah.
Because we
Wait.
haven't done a September episode yet.
We didn't do a September episode?
No, you went to the Boundary
Because
Waters.
I was in the Boundary Waters.
Yeah, and we haven't done it since.
It was cool up there.
Yeah.
Cali, it was cool up there. Kind of. I had a high of 60 in the Boundary Waters. It was nice. The leaves were changing.
I'm jealous.
The maple trees were red. I mean red. Like red. Those maple trees know how to do
That's
it.
why I have a fall candle going, so it, makes you think that it's fall.
I mean, I thought somebody just washed their hands, but okay.
Well, maybe.
I mean, when I walked in I was like, oh, somebody's going heavy on the soap today.
Well, candle, and I also am cooking honey nut squash and carrots.
Oh,
So,
okay. So come on over, everybody. You got like an hour
all of that.
to get here.
I'm making skillet turkey and honey nut squash chili. Did I say that right? Did I say that wrong?
Skillet
No.
turkey.
Skillet turkey and squash chili.
Oh, that's all one thing.
It's all one thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought those were two different things. I see.
I don't know
Okay.
why they put the word skillet in front of it. I guess because you make it in a skillet.
Did you at any point use the skillet?
I did.
Well,
to cook
then
the turkey.
that's probably why that's in there. Then.
But I mean, like we don't.
Wait, why? I don't know why that's in there.
Okay, but listen though.
Well, normally you cook a turkey in the oven. So
It's
a skillet.
It's ground turkey.
Okay, but still, normally you cook a turkey in the oven. So skillet turkey.
Okay, but here's the thing.
They're basically just trying to give you the whole recipe of the title.
Yeah, that right. So last week I made white chicken chili with sweet potatoes.
That's true.
Why do you
Okay.
even own cookbooks?
That's where I get my recipes from.
Yeah, but all you need is the title.
Oh, yes. Okay, now I see. But the title is in the recipe book.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't tell me. It didn't say like pot white chicken chili. It didn't tell me to cook it in
That's
a
because
pot.
that's a way different dish.
That's what is happening around here? You guys leave camp and all of a sudden
our pot chicken chili.
it's the pot chicken chili. Ah, I see.
The white pot.
I see.
We don't have a white pot though, so
So it was a black pot. And the black pot chicken chili. Maybe purpley. Was it purpley? Hazy? Purpley hazy?
I love when you come over, Jim. The highlight of my day. Yeah, seriously, everything that I'm making, it's like, it's the title.
Yeah,
Like chili lime roasted sweet potatoes and chicken thighs.
there you go.
That's
You don't even need a recipe now.
And then on Friday we're having cilantro lime chicken and rice bowls.
Okay.
That's what we're having. They really need to come up with better titles.
I think why? Why do they need what?
Well, I mean, maybe not better titles, but
I think that's helpful. To
well, I
to-
guess so.
Yeah. How angry would you be? See, this is the next step. They're gonna start naming these dishes, and Callie's gonna be like, "Why is this called this?"
Yeah.
Because it'll start getting named like hot sauces of like, why is
like tiger chicken.
like
Tiger chicken with dragon veggies.
this is chicken lime.
Cilantro lime chicken and rice bowl.
So that's what cilantro lime chicken rice bowl
Mm-hmm.
could be.
Tiger chicken with dragon rice.
Oh yeah.
But you don't have the lime or the cilantro.
That's what what do you think dragon is?
Doesn't
Definitely
matter.
not-
It doesn't matter, it's
Dragon
just
is
the title.
cilantro and lime.
It doesn't matter, it's
We're
just the
already
title.
arguing about it, and it's not even
I'm
a
just
thing.
saying. Just
Okay.
saying.
It's not a
the
thing.
title.
I retract what I just said. I love the titles. It tells you exactly
It's
what
not a thing yet. That's
Yeah.
what you mean.
Maybe this could be your cookbook. We'll retitle all of your recipes.
Yes.
Melissa Hartwood would be very mad.
We'll change them a little bit.
All right. Well, I sent a message to Jeremy because he's a listener of this show, and he sent me a would you rather. And he's like, next time you and Jim. But then I scrolled back to the message, and he sent me a message through Instagram, and he posted it to me. But I guess they deleted that post, so I don't have that anymore. So if we get that, if he replies to me real time, this is exciting. Like maybe in real time he'll send me that again, and I will have that would you rather. So
I mean,
this
it's
is.
exciting for us. It's not exciting for anybody listening to this because
What do you mean?
it's
It's
not
just-
live for them.
Yeah, but just the anticipation.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
he gonna?
Is it going
is
to
he
happen?
going
We
to?
can't answer you.
Right.
It's
I don't
not
know.
a purposeful hook.
Is he going to send me that message?
Do you want to know the trivia question from PT today? Sure you do. Okay, here's a trivia question.
Oh.
Whenever I go to physical therapy, there's also there's always a trivia question on the whiteboard. There's only one state that begins with two vowels. What is it? Which state? Like the name.
Begins with two vowels.
Oh gosh, I got this in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Come on, Midwestern.
Oh.
Wait, what did I say? Hold on.
You said two vowels. And
Right,
I'm
but
trying-
begins or ends?
Begins.
Okay, that's right then. Okay. Now I'm second guessing myself. What state begins with two vowels?
Iowa?
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Which state ends with three vowels?
Who cares?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Yeah. It's a trivia question.
Oh, trivia people care. Oh, okay.
I
Sorry, trivia people.
I go
It's
to
never gotten me.
I go to PT every week and there's a trivia question.
I mean, that's cool.
So I thought I would
Alright.
fill your time since you didn't
I had-
have a would you rather.
I have would you rather. I just don't have. Jeremy picked out a specific
I
would
know,
you
I heard
rather
you.
that
That
he
you
wants
wanted
to
to
honor
send
the
it.
listeners.
And
We're trying
like
to honor
this is interaction. This is
the
our
one listener
listener
that we have.
interaction.
Hi Jeremy.
We're trying to include the one listener that we have.
I'll listen to it later, so you have two listeners.
Well, because she listens.
Only because you're on it. And once you hear your voice, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that was the end of me," and you're done.
No, she listens to when you and I do it. She doesn't listen to when I just do it.
Oh, it's just you.
When it's just me, and
Oh,
she's like,
okay.
I hear you talk
I
all the
see.
time.
yeah. So she
So
listens
she's-
to this one.
She's just making sure we're not just wife gabbing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would only be wonderful things.
Sure. It sure would.
Would you rather? So here you go. This is not the Jeremy one. Sorry.
This is not the
We
Jeremy
will
one.
tell you if it's the Jeremy one because this interaction.
It would be. A big
I
deal
am
if it
on
happened.
pins and needles actually about
That's
this.
true.
Like I'm
Yeah.
just so excited.
We can't contain ourselves.
Would you rather have one gift worth $1,200 or $100 gift every month for 1 year? So you either get one gift worth $1,200 or a $100 gift, so you get 12 gifts that are each equal to $100.
I'm gonna go with the one a month.
One a month. And why, sir, would you choose that?
Actually, because woodworking you buy a lot of little stupid things, and it adds up real fast.
Okay.
And that would take care of all of that.
Just to have an extra $100 just hanging around.
Yeah.
Just to
Just
buy that.
if I knew. I mean, I'm just like assuming. I guess I was assuming that I get to choose my gift. But
I'm,
if it's just a random gift that's given to me that's worth $100,
you're not so keen on that. No,
I don't know
I think
if
you
I
do
want
get
that.
to choose your gift. I mean, I think if you're gonna, if somebody's gonna get you an $1,200 gift, I think that probably you get to choose your gift. So if you're gonna get 100 gifts, I think you get to maybe you have a gift list, but like it's
Sure.
like you put a
yeah.
list together here,
Yeah.
and they choose from that list.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So I would have all my woodworking disposables on there.
so
Consumables? Probably
Yeah.
consumables is probably the better term.
I like that, but I also like the idea of the very large gift because, like, the smaller stuff, I definitely could probably swing maybe not $100 each month, but close to that of just being like, I'll just buy that. But a $1,200 gift, like, I'm probably not going to buy that for myself. It'd have to be a very, like. There'd just have to be a really good reason why I'm spending $1,200.
I mean, I feel you.
So
I understand. I have actually achieved the level of my woodworking that I have enough tools that the next ones that I want to buy are
go to be that.
just a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Which is why, like, for me, I think if I had to choose, I think I'd be like, yeah, I want that one kind of bigger thing that I wouldn't ever get, versus the one like, kind of the. It's nice to have something each month, but I like that idea.
Yeah.
One gift.
No, I get it. I get
Okay.
it. I can see both sides of that coin. I just now bought more sandpaper for my wood shop, so it's just one of those. That's one of those things that makes you go, meh. If I had extra $100 every month, it'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather go to jail for a year or be homeless for a year?
Homeless.
I did not think you would choose that one, so I'm gonna need some more.
you didn't think I'd pick? Okay. I would rather be homeless. A, because my kids are all leaving the house, so it doesn't affect my kids.
Okay.
I guess it would affect my wife. That would be a bummer. But going to jail would affect my wife too.
Yeah, but she could still stay in your house.
True. I didn't think about my wife.
But why
I-
like what like? But tell
Am
me.
I homeless? Like, did my wife boot me out, or is it now my wife and I have to find a house? Or are homeless?
Well, I feel like it's. I say this is on a personal level. We won't we won't overly complicate it with.
Oh well,
Uh,
yeah. If it's just me, then 100% homeless.
Okay,
Because there's no way. Jail would just be so boring to me. Like I don't know if I could handle the routine and the closed space. And, yeah, that'd be rough.
Hmm.
I'd much rather just wander.
Hmm.
And no, I'm not gonna stay in the Midwest because it's freaking cold here. I don't understand why there's homeless people in the Midwest in the winter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do, because you run out of money, you can't do anything about it. But
Right. Yeah. What's it? That actually leads me to a. I don't want to jump too. Well, I'll tell you my answer. I definitely just. I'm okay with gel,
hmm,
but also, the idea of studying, like having time to just study for a whole year. Yeah,
that's
sign
true.
me up.
Yeah, you could just hang out in the library or whatever. Yeah. I get
Uh,
the advantages of it. I just no.
I mean,
No
gel.
thanks.
Gel. I think yes. I think like a maximum security prison seems like dangerous and uncomfortable in a
Mhm.
lot of ways. But gel, like if we're just talking like, when I'm locked up in the county jail and I'm not facing like endless days of the worst
Sure.
criminals that want to, cause pain or end me. Um, you know, that's the I think the like the idea of like, yep, this is when you eat, this is when you this is when you go to sleep, and then you have some time where you work out, and then the rest of the time you can read a book all day long if you want, and that sounds quite lovely to me. And you can work on, if you want, you can work on another degree because 3 is not enough.
That's
So,
true. That's true. You always want more.
If I had the gift, somebody gave me 1,200, I might put that towards another degree,
Another year in jail.
another year of college of degrees
Oh, alright, okay.
spent in jail. That would be helpful.
That would be.
Save me a lot of money. Save me a lot of money.
It would save you some money,
Uh,
and it does clear your schedule, so you don't have any excuses to
right.
not do your work.
Yeah. And you're probably around people that need to hear about Jesus, so you've got that going for you.
That's true.
Homeless people, you probably are too. I mean,
Yeah.
even not homeless people, you're around people that need to hear about Jesus. So,
That's true.
So
Mhm.
here's,
Probably fun to have some conversations there.
yeah. Oh, so here's my serious question.
Go serious.
Do you think Jesus chose to be poor? And if so, what implications does that have for your life? Just dive into some
don't-
like deep seriousness. Just go.
Okay. I don't think Jesus. Okay, initial response.
Mhm.
This is probably wrong, but and I'll probably go back on it.
Sweet. Let's stake out some wrong things, so we'll get to the right things.
Yeah. I mean, we're just
Mm.
talking through. Right?
Yeah.
Talking through it right now.
Yeah.
I don't think Jesus thought in those patterns. I don't think Jesus thought about rich or poor. I think he lived in a space of reliance on God, and so it wasn't about rich or poor. It was about getting what you need and knowing that God provides. Because I don't think, I mean, the one time he was pressured about money, he sends his disciples down to the lake and pulls a coin out of the fish.
Fish. Yeah. Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
I think it's just one of those things that it's one of those things that helps us determine whether or not we're thinking heavenly or earthly,
Mm.
because rich, poor, that's an earthly thing. If you read through Proverbs, some of you would be like, yeah, but Proverbs has a lot to say about the wealthy. Yeah, that's true. Every time you read what a wise, wealthy person does in Proverbs, he's helping the community.
Mm.
Every time you read about what a foolish person is doing, they're focused on themselves in Proverbs. And so it's not that God doesn't address it, it's that I think it's a different. I don't think Jesus thought in that frame of mind ever. So did he choose to be poor? Sure. He chose to do whatever God told him to go do.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, the one time he tells his disciples, don't bring anything, God will provide everything. And then the other time he sends them out, he says, you're going to need everything you can get.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I guess I've thought about this some, obviously, so I ambushed you with the question because you haven't had deep thoughts on it so far, but not that your thoughts weren't good. I don't want that. That's not what I'm saying. Your thoughts were good.
well, I'm, yeah.
Wrong, but
yeah.
good. No.
I mean, like I said, they're probably wrong. It's just an initial reaction.
No, I think that the question, and you came at it from a different angle, which is not very surprising because we often come at things from different angles. But I was thinking about just the circumstances that he chose. So, hypothetically, he could have chosen any person at any time. Well, not any person, any female, any virgin at any time that
to be
fit
mom.
to
Yeah,
be the
yeah.
mom, right?
Okay.
To be the family that he's born into.
Sure.
So there was, I would imagine, hypothetically, again, we're getting into a whole lot of what ifs, and that's, I like what ifs. So
I like what ifs.
So,
It's a fun land to be in.
but hypothetically, there were someone at some time in that would fulfill the prophecies as Mary did, but was also in the royal court, was a princess. There was
Sure.
across the whole
Was known.
history of time
Sure.
that
Well, arguably, I bet even when Mary was pregnant, there was probably better recorded lineage of David girls.
right,
I mean, because
because
How
the
many-
Messiah was coming from there. So
how many generations is it? Like 14 or something
Yeah,
from David? I mean, it's a lot.
I would just be guessing, and I would probably be wrong. So
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
which one has it? Matthew or Luke?
Matthew.
They both have one. One
Well,
goes
Matthew's-
one direction
Man, see, I'm gonna get that wrong.
and Luke goes the other direction. Anyway, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Right.
But there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, so 14-ish generations.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of choices there
Right.
as far as relatives of David.
Right. Right. So, is
Anyway.
there right? And so it would seem that it's a very deliberate choice to choose the family that Jesus is born into is this carpenter's family that, I mean, by standards, doesn't have a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, we don't, but I mean, they're not in the royal king. They're not in the royal palace. Let's
Right.
just say it
Right.
like maybe they're
Well,
not.
nobody's in the royal palace at that point, but
Well, but there still are. I mean, King Herod. So you keep. I mean that,
True.
which was a messed up family. So that's probably an answer of like no, no.
well, I mean, they
Um,
were, yeah, they were rolling anyway.
Well, but they were. I mean, they were the Jewish. Yeah. Anyway, but they were messed up. I mean, just
Yeah,
intermarried and just messed
right,
up.
right.
So, so I think that like, maybe I would argue the other side of the coin than you argued was that I think that he often saw things through the lens of rich and poor, but it didn't have the same meaning. It didn't have the same definition that the world did.
Mhm.
And so, like, if we were going, so if you're God, which you're not, and I'm not, and we're super glad that neither one of us are, because I'm not anywhere fit for that. So, but if you're God and you are about to send your only begotten Son, and your Son is maybe in this conversation too, probably in this conversation too. I mean, that whole however the Trinity works, right? I'm not. The Holy Spirit's also going like, yeah. What are we doing?
Oh.
What are we doing here?
That is kind of fun.
Like,
You think the Holy Spirit was like for however many thousands of years, just like, can I go do something? yeah, go to Elijah. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Now jump to Elisha. You're
Mhm.
you're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, yeah. Was he like
Serious-
tag? Like, was
Seriously,
the
can
Holy
I-
Spirit like the
Can
like
I do
a world
something?
like
Just one guy? You're sending me one guy at a time?
like a tag team wrestler like from the 90s. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but from the 90s, talking about where he's like holding his
Put me
hand
in,
like
put me
holding
in,
his
put
hand
me
out in the
in.
ring
Yeah,
while
yeah,
the other
yeah.
like the Rock is like, I'm never gonna tag you. Like you're
Not
never,
your turn yet,
you're
buddy.
never
Not
getting
your
in.
turn yet.
He's just destroying people and like the wimpy. Not that the Holy
Jesus
Spirit
is like,
wimpy.
how about her?
Yeah.
How about her?
Yeah.
How about her?
The Holy Spirit is like, tag me in.
Jesus is like, you're sending him? You're sending him! I haven't even gone yet. What's going on?
Hey, well, welcome to Blasphemy Town, folks.
We just lost a whole bunch of listeners right there. The Trinity never argues with itself. Yeah, but it's fun to think it does. Okay?
Like, you know,
It's
having
just
these
fun.
having these conversations and like, what are we doing again? Like, well, Jesus is gonna go to the earth. Okay, and he's gonna die. Wait, Jesus is like, hold on, what? What now?
Yeah.
You know,
It's gonna hurt, buddy.
Yeah. And when that happens, he's going to hang around for about 40 days, and then the Holy Spirit, you're on. Like, and she's like, does the Holy Spirit have to die? No, he just gets to show up.
But
None of that happened, by the way.
what?
But just to imagine it, it's like, hold on, I have some questions.
And the Holy Spirit retort is, yeah, but there's people that just don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
seriously, I
Yeah.
can tap into their life as deeply as I can, and they still are like, no, I'm not gonna.
There's a whole
Jesus, all you gotta do is hang on a cross, buddy. Once. That's all you gotta do.
there's a whole collection of denomination that's not even sure I actually exist. They're afraid of me. They don't really talk about me.
They pretend like they care, but they don't. They don't even listen to me.
So it's not as fun as you think it's gonna be. Okay, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, like the Spirit's not all being the Spirit's not all it's cracked up
See,
to
and
be.
that's why the Father's the Father, because he's just sitting on the throne being like, you two, stop fighting. Go get your stuff done. You've already set it in place. It's going already. Just
So
That's such a fun thing. Oh, that's such a fun thought to have.
just Jesus and the Holy Spirit complaining about believers.
Just sitting in the corner, and God's
like,
sitting,
yeah.
just like in the room, like,
Jesus is
Oh
like,
my
do you,
gosh, just
do you
work it
see
out."
what they're doing in my name? Do you see that? And the Holy Spirit's like, at least they know you exist, buddy. Like, they don't even like I'm around, right? This is my time to shine.
Right.
Half of them don't even know I'm here.
I know. Jeez, I'm walking around with them in their hearts. They start doing stuff. I say, hey, don't do that. And they go, I think I'm going to do that more. And you're like, come on.
Did you see they make
And then they see somebody and they say, hey, do you remember what Jesus did for you? And they go, oh, yeah. And then they stop doing that thing. How? See? I get zero credit. I get zero credit.
because I touch their heart and it changes. But what do they put? They say it's because of
They
Jesus.
say it's because of you
'cause of you,
on the
Jesus.
cross, and stepping out of the grave. You just steal my thunder all the time, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely gonna get us canceled. But either way,
I don't even know what we were talking about. 'Cause
yeah. Well,
that whole space to walk into just in my head was fun.
no, I think the whole idea.
Oh, we were talking about Jesus' choice.
Yeah,
Right,
Jesus,
okay.
Jesus being
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
did the Holy Spirit, the Father, and Jesus kind of gather together and kind of be like, all right,
We're choosing the poor.
we're going to be like,
Well, I think, okay, so from that perspective, I guess I would argue that from the beginning, Jesus is always bucking, or God is always trying to challenge that whole, like,
right,
you guys think you know what success and leadership and whatever, like,
this is my
being
son.
rich and achieving something.
This
I mean,
is my son
yeah,
who
Old
I'm well
Testament-
pleased,
yeah,
but
Old-
he's not because he's rich.
Yeah, Old
Yeah.
Testament, it was your firstborn, and that's who got everything.
You're
and-
blessed if you're rich, if you're wealthy, then it means God loves you.
Right.
And if you're not, then that means God, you've done something that
Right.
makes God not love you, and good luck. If you've got leprosy, you definitely did something wrong, and
Right.
God hates you, and you can't be
Right.
near
Which
God.
is the whole. I mean, which is the whole reason we have, right, Job, like the Book of Job, which is the whole reason God repeatedly chooses the secondborn and blesses them.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire, like, pick your Old Testament character,
Jacob,
and
David.
yeah.
David
I mean,
wasn't even second born.
I
David
mean,
was.
Yeah, Jacob, Joseph,
Yeah.
Joseph's kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like all of that. Going back to Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
It wasn't about who's first and who's second. It's about who's listening and who's not. And then you get to New Testament stuff of just that whole idea that there is no Greek or Hebrew or there is none of that is important because of faith in Christ. And
Right.
so, and that, we were just talking, I was talking to somebody about this earlier, of like, that's how Christ, that's not just what the new commandment is through Christ, that's what it's been since the beginning of, it's faith in God. It's faith in God.
Yeah.
And so I think that gets us to maybe a space of wondering, how do we know that we're participating in the kingdom right now?
Yeah.
Because I think if it's truly God's kingdom, then it hasn't changed from Cain and Abel all the way through. And I mean, yeah, I can go back to Adam and Eve, but Cain and Abel, whatever. Anyway,
Right.
Doesn't matter.
So let me phrase it this way as a question. Let me take what you said. I'd like to answer my question if it was my turn and talk twice as long.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's Saturday Night Live. That's not what I want to do. I want to phrase it this way because it's a question. I think that what I've been thinking about. So Jim and I had podcast discussion, and I asked him
True.
some questions to think through, and
You would put them in a box.
and are they in the left box or the right box? And you have to decide. No, boy.
He said,
Strategery. That's only going to hit with like
no one.
3 people
No
out
one.
there in the world. Jeremy might be one of them. He might be old enough to
Some people might
have
remember
caught
that.
onto that.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right. But sorry, back to the actual question. So I think that one of the things that I've been contemplating and meditating on, because I've been doing discipleship with a guy that's a freshman in high school, and I've been going through the church's curriculum with him, so I'm not writing it, but as we go, I am reminiscing on my own life and thinking back to like what was I told, or what do I think I was told, because at this point, who knows what I was really told, or what was implicitly told to me, what was explicitly told to me, those things like about culture and whether or not somebody actually said this, but it just everybody knew that's what you're supposed to do, and so which brings it back to like are we participating in the kingdom? But I think like what does it look like to successfully follow Jesus and in doing so participate in the kingdom? I think that's the question that we'll talk about the other questions as we go along the road too, because I think are you participating in the kingdom leads into some of those, but what is successful participation in God's kingdom look like based on what you were just talking about, like intentionally going, all right, God, what is this? What are we doing? What should we do? What is and walk the fine line, because I think this is the struggle that I found myself growing up with, is that walking the fine line of knowing that there were a set of rules that were often delivered and said, well, if you follow these set of rules, then you've got it, and then they were fairly well known, don't drink, don't hang out with the people who do, don't have sex, don't cuss, check, all right, successful Jesus life. And what I have been constantly been dragged back to, speaking of the Holy Spirit, but is this idea that Jesus says in the Gospels, he's like, you're going to be known by your fruit, by what you do, what you produce. And then Paul saying like, you know what the fruit of the Spirit is. And then you start thinking about that, and it's like, it seems to me, and I'm making this less of a question, but I'll get there. It's a long-winded one, apparently. But it seems to me that the question that rests in my mind is, wouldn't it be better to see the lens of success as a follower of Jesus based on the fruit that we produce in our lives? And that our goal, for me, like this is what I feel like I'm pushing up against, and then is that our goal is to follow the Spirit in such a way that we produce the fruit of the Spirit daily. What's going on?
It's just funny that food has been delivered when she's cooking food in the oven.
Did Pam make you some food?
It's dessert.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Our neighbor that lives
Our 70-plus-year-old lady.
She's 82.
Our 82-year-old neighbor, who unfortunately her boyfriend, who lived underneath us for so long, passed away, and so
Now she doesn't have anybody to give her desserts to.
she doesn't. So she made Callie something. Callie made her some stew the other night and took over some hamburger soup,
yeah,
and so
yeah,
this
yeah.
is the
You
this
gotta
is the
get paid
return.
back for
So
yeah.
And she texted me and said, I'm at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah. Well, don't make her come up here. Don't make me come up here.
so not to be derailed, but hey, here we are.
It was just weird to see Kelly
Come in with food.
come in with food
Yeah. Alright.
that it looks like she's not gonna eat. She's not.
What is it? Oh, well, thankfully Pam doesn't listen to our podcast, so I guess we don't have to worry about it.
I'm curious.
Oh.
She
Oh.
said it was white cake with lemon on the top.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
But it's like. Do you want me to cut you a piece?
This is riveting podcasting right now.
Yeah, yeah.
As we all stare at the cake
We're
and
just
Callie
looking at this cake.
and Callie taste it. What are they doing now? I don't know. It's just it's blocks of silence.
Well, I mean, it's better than the muffin episode. Nom, nom, nom.
Was it a muffin?
Yes, because no, it was a bun
Butt
cake.
cake.
It was a butt cake.
A butt cake.
It was your
That's
butt
right,
cake.
the butt cakes.
Just riveting. What are we all doing now? I don't know. Let's stare at this piece of cake.
Well, I was just curious. It just looked a little different.
I mean, I wouldn't have guessed lemon. I would have guessed pineapple. 'cause it
Pineapple,
kinda
that's
looks
kinda what I was thinking,
pineapple.
too.
I like it.
It looks lemony to me.
It tastes lemony.
Oh, well then,
The part that I stuck my finger in.
problem solved. It's lemony.
It is lemon. Oh, some of that is coming over here. Okay.
Do you not want any? You don't have to eat it.
I have to eat it now because it got delivered.
Is this the part that you put your finger in, or is that the part you put your
Neither.
finger in? Oh, okay.
I put my
Alright.
finger in the back half.
Okay. So,
Sorry, I interrupted your talk about Jesus.
yeah,
Were we-
seriously.
Yeah.
Speaking of fruit,
Speaking of the
Oh yeah, see, were you talking about the fruits of the spirit?
a little bit, a
See,
little
there you
bit.
go. I just brought you cake.
Just brought us cake. Yeah.
What? What?
Because it's
Speaking of the fruit of the spirit, I brought you cake.
well, it's
What?
lemon. It's
What
lemon
are we
cake.
talking about right now?
It's lemon cake.
Talking about fruit, Jim. I'm catching that we're talking
Way
about
to
fruit.
make
so funny.
Jim choke.
That was so funny.
This is actually a very Baptist transition because food,
That doesn't make any sense at all.
food, and we were actually more comfortable.
Speaking of the fruit of the spirit, here's some roast beef. What are we talking? What?
Jim,
No.
it made sense because
No.
it's lemon.
It's a lemon, see?
Lemon,
So it's a
which
fruit.
is one of the first fruits I think about when I think about the fruit of the spirit. Definitely in that
It's
basket.
not a coconut. The fruit of the spirit's not a coconut. Isn't that how that song goes?
I do not know.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, yes, I do believe that's how that song goes, but I don't know how many people actually know that song or will know that song. So,
Okay.
I bet a lot of campy people know it.
well, yeah, if you went to the Methodist camp.
Did you say Methodist?
Uh-huh.
I didn't go to a Methodist camp.
Fire? You didn't go to the Fire Girls or whatever?
That's campfire. That has nothing to do with church.
All right,
It
well,
wasn't sponsored by the Methodist Church.
yeah, but it was a bunch of Methodist people.
Anyway,
That's the point where I've made the right, where I've won, but she's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore, so she goes, anyway, and then we move on.
Yeah.
But I count it.
I mean,
So.
you do what you gotta do.
You do.
Speaking of trying to live and usher in the kingdom of heaven,
Have some cake.
have some cake.
goodbye.
I love you. Thank you. I love you.
Jim,
It's just fun. It's,
Jim?
What?
okay, I already have one husband.
I
I don't.
I'm
need a
not making
second.
fun of you at all.
Yes, you are.
You have brought him joy.
You brought me cake with lemon on it.
Speaking
That
of the
apparently is
fruits
one
of
of the
the
fruits of the spirit.
Speaking of the fruits of the spirit, you have brought him a lot of joy.
Oh, I love that I can make you laugh.
That's fun. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I think my question, to boil it down, maybe get us back on track. Maybe. I think my question is, if we're going to be more like Jesus, then I think our life should reflect the fruit of the Spirit.
True.
How do we do that? Because there's a balance, right? But I think like if we're gonna be kingdom minded, like that we should that's the goal we should aim for. I don't think that we've always like my personal experience. Man, let's lose another word for experience. My personal experience has not been one where that has really been pushed or highlighted, but instead, like, there's a cultural Christianity that has kind of been like, oh yeah, just be like these people. And be like these people is not necessarily have more fruit like the Spirit. It's just like, be Republican or be not Republican or, just depending on what group you're in. And so if we're going to be, so how do we from my outside looking in or from my experience looking in is saying like, how do we encourage, if we're going to do discipleship, if we're going to do Sunday school, if we're going to do youth group, like how do we encourage people to be students of the, like those who chase after the Spirit and the fruit of the Spirit and producing that in our lives? With the knowledge, and so just to caveat before we jump too far into this, because I also want to acknowledge that the Holy Spirit is also at work in us, and that's like He's doing stuff in us, and so that's another part of it. But like, how do we also kind of partner with Him in that?
Yeah. Well, I think you're rubbing up against the plate of every vocational minister out there of how do we how do we get people to understand their need for Jesus? Because I think one of the blessings of being in vocational ministry, as far as my job goes, is I get to constantly be thinking about the idea of how does this benefit the kingdom, and if it doesn't benefit the kingdom, I go idea scrapped and go a different direction. I mean, that's as simple as that is. And so I think the question of how do we get people to see that I mean, surprise, Camp Guy is going to say relationships. Because the disciples didn't follow Jesus because they knew His rules. They didn't follow Jesus because they respected His speeches. They followed Jesus because He was doing crazy stuff that was like, I think this is kind of what the Messiah is going to do. I mean, I just read through John, the first chapter of John. First chapter obviously starts with the Word part in the whole Jesus is the Word and Jesus is the light. And then it's brings up John the Baptist, but then it also, the first chapter of John also ends with Jesus calling his first disciples, because John just moves at a different pace than the other Gospels. So, and John emphasizes the idea that that those disciples were looking for a rabbi.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, Jesus asked them, "What do you guys want?" And they say, "Can you be our rabbi?"
Hmm.
And he says, "Yeah, come hang out with me." Which, fun story, last night I was going through this, I was telling this, and my brain, my old guy brains, this is why old guys sometimes hesitate in saying things, because like a million memories start, like you can say something and then like a million memories start pouring in your head and you totally forget about what you're talking about, because I was describing this moment to the youth group a little bit to try and, because I don't know, whatever, because I'm leading the Bible study, so I'm trying to describe this moment, get the kids into that moment of Jesus calling the disciples. And I remember a Numa video.
Yeah, I got it on DVD.
Like
You
it-
watch it.
It was in my head going, and I was
The
like,
dust of the rabbi.
because I,
May the dust of the rabbi rest upon you.
yeah, because I think I maybe used the same phrase or something that my brain was like, Numa video, and it just, and my brain played the entire Numa video in my head while I'm trying to be like in the moment in youth group, and my brain keeps going, no, you want to think about this Numa video, and I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to describe it like Rob Bell. Please, these kids are not there. Like I'm not there. I'm trying to move on. It was just it was a really funny moment. Anyway, all that to say, I think that as we think about trying to figure out what does it mean, or how do we physically represent the kingdom of God, and how do we make those mental transitions in our head to try and figure that out. You gotta start with where Jesus was, and you gotta start with that whole idea of, we started with Jesus, and then we've got the fruit of the Spirit, and we've got the Holy Spirit in us, and He's producing the change in us, but I think what I'm trying to help the youth do is see that Jesus is a real person that is with them, that they can have a conversation with, that actually cares about them. They just don't have the ears to hear it yet. Some of them. And so I'm trying to show and arguably the first chapter of John is not very practical. So, because it's super heavy, because he starts with the word, right? There's just a lot of theology in there.
It's super conceptual. It starts
Right.
off super conceptual.
He uses two metaphors that are metaphors, and so they're good and they're deep and they're great, and some of my kids get it, and then other of the youth group kids are like, good to know, sweet, there's two Johns, and so that's the breadth of humanity that we're all dealing with, right? There's people that are trying to figure out who's who. It depends on who, where you're at, because later in that chapter, John says there's two disciples, with Jesus, and then they go. Those two disciples go. One of them brings their brother back, and then this other one, because John hates to name himself in his own book. It's arguable, most likely it's John,
Mm-hmm.
but who's to know?
Right.
It could be Philip, because John loves to not write himself in, like,
The one whom Jesus loved.
and so, yeah, we're just gonna, wherever I can avoid saying my name,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, whatever, that's probably how I'd write a book, maybe, but. I don't know if that answered any of the question, because we had a long cake break in there.
I think, I think we're starting with this idea that I think Jesus is real. He is present. The Holy Spirit helps to reveal that. And I guess what for me has been a little bit of a struggle to really put feet to an idea is the idea of I mean, and this has been a lifelong thing. So I talked about this. If you have listened to my other podcast, you are no stranger to this story. But Jim has, but he also listens while he does woodwork, and so he doesn't pay attention. So I'm going to share the story just to be upfront. Like, I was joking about being Baptist and ignoring the Holy Spirit, but that's actually not too far off of what my experience was when I was growing up. We just were very leery of it. We were very, like, everything was orderly and controlled, and so there wasn't a whole lot of room for the Holy Spirit. And in fact, the first time that I can remember somebody speaking about walking by the Spirit was when I was 20. I think I was 20. We went to a youth camp, and the speaker there was like, "You guys gotta walk by the Spirit," and like I immediately was just like, "What? What? Like, no. We need to follow the rules." I was very, I was very legalistic until I was about 25, 24. So I just had to I repented of that. It became something else. But for a long time, and I still am. I'm still a rule follower if I'm going to be honest. So it's harder for me, I think, to catch on to this other side of things, which is just like, how do you walk by the Spirit? What's that look like? And and then how do you help? How do you help a next generation or people around you, walk by the Spirit? Like, and there's obviously like this fine line, because we've just gone through, obviously, if you pay attention to any kind of social media, we've just gone through another round of people saying that the rapture was coming, and what was it, last Tuesday, I think, the Feast of Tabernacles, Rosh Hashanah.
Oh yeah.
Of people being like, the Spirit has spoken, and I know when the time is, and then all the biblical theologians have been like, well, Jesus says no one knows the time, and so there is a I think that there's a caution, I guess, that I would say, because I'm also a cautious person, more so than you are, in a lot of ways, and so there's a caution, because it's like, I want to be led by the Spirit, but I don't want to allow myself to be misled by my own, because where I begin and the Spirit begins, and then how do you then teach? And I think relationship obviously is you're still an answer from earlier, but like, are we having these conversations like I'm asking this of myself, not fully, but I also you can participate.
Sure.
I'm not just talking to myself. I do that
Well,
on my other podcasts,
Yeah.
but
On
I'm just,
other ones that I'm not here.
so it's
Because
not
it would
unusual.
be weird to talk to me and I'm not here. So Jim, what do you think
So,
about that
Jim,
one? I'm not here.
So
Jim would say.
Jim, I think what Jim is going to say, but there's very that relational side of things. But like, I feel like we, in the things that I've experienced and the things even that I've led as a spiritual leader and still growing and still trying to figure out life, I think that I've not been as focused or keen to talk about you got to be led by the Spirit and here's what being led by the Spirit looks like, and here's the fruit of the Spirit, and here's what it doesn't look like, and to really talk about that, because I think, I'll get to my point at this point right here, because I think that one thing that I am most cautious about is that I have seen the abuses of people who are like, I have a word or I know what I'm doing. I'm the pastor. I'm the leader. I've got a word from God, or I'm following His, and driven off the deep end. And you're like, that's not following the Spirit. So how do we push back against maybe some of that, and then pull in how do you teach? I haven't had to raise kids. It wasn't part of my life, but how do you invite just youth, kids, to how do you invite them to walk by the Spirit, and also realize that there are, you got to be careful. You can't just be like, well, whatever thought I have is the thought. So
I think that right there are the questions that I try and ask. What gets them to hesitate? Because I think our youth are so they're really, really good at scrolling. And so and I don't just mean that on their phones. I mean just in the thought patterns that they have they're just really good at one thought, and just chucking it, and then able to totally switch into a different thought. And that's good if we're talking about I don't know, just problem solving and some general holistic kind of
flexible thinking,
just life things.
Right.
Where that becomes detrimental is it's really hard to shut that off. And so how are you going to hear from God if your brain is always going that fast? And from even when the times that the kids in my youth group that are not addicted to their phones, that have good boundaries as far as that goes, and that can put it down and can have normal face-to-face conversations, I can still see them getting really it boils up in a couple different ways. It either boils up in anxiousness or boredom or an open door to be a class clown, to interrupt things and be the focus. And so and not that that's new to youth. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I think I'm trying to figure out ways to throw questions into those spaces that make them pause. And so that's all very situational. I mean, because That's not. I mean, I wish I could be more specific. Like, just ask this question. Like, that's not. That's not how that goes.
Well, if you have that, let's write a book and let's go.
Right.
Let's get rich, man. Let's
Right.
not.
I don't think that's how that goes. Because
The purpose-driven spirit walk. I mean, let's go. The purpose-driven fruit of the spirit. Come on,
right.
we got it.
Yeah. Because yeah.
Yeah.
The purpose-driven Jabez prayer. Purpose-driven
Don't
Jabez
waste-
prayer.
Don't.
What was the John Eldridge dating book?
Oh, holy.
Or a manhood book? It was a manhood. book.
Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart was the manhood. Was
Yeah. So we
was
gotta-
the book that was like all men really wish they could run around naked in the woods.
Yeah.
Which was never a thought that I had in my life. And all girls want to be princesses. That was his wife's. Was like,
Yeah.
all girls want to be princesses, and all guys wish they could run around naked in the woods. And I was like, no, thank you. A, I'm not running in the woods without shoes on. Okay. And B, might as well just put clothes on too.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever really I mean, there's a lot of things in the woods that just want to hurt your body. And so I don't really mind being clothed.
There's
But-
a reason why we've evolved to wearing clothes.
But I do. I think I barely remember that book. I shouldn't say anything about it.
I'm sure I'm oversimplifying his argument, and I
Yeah.
apologize, John Eldridge. I know
No,
that
no.
you listen to this podcast
It was-
famously, but
It's a very good.
it is one of the that's what it distills down to.
It's
in
just
some
one of
ways.
those '90s books that
Yeah.
came out. That,
I Kiss Gay and Goodbye.
yeah. That everybody should have read. Do you think that was? Excuse me. Do you think that was the '90s
Okay.
when we were
We were going through our
we were in the Christian bubble
yes
fully,
yes
both you and I.
yes.
So we both have similar overlapping, like Wild at Hearts and like those kind of things, and then the youth conferences or the purity conferences or
Yeah.
whatever. Do you think that those things have gone away, or have they just changed? Like, I mean, and by gone away, I mean like so. Okay, so I guess it's my turn to talk a lot because now I feel like I gotta explain a little bit. The generation before us, Billy Graham revivals,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That was the stuff to go to,
yes.
right? And those kind of revivals, tent camp revivals, those kind of things, right? The generation before us, the generation before them, I mean, kind of got robbed because of World War II. But, I mean, so, like, I don't know if there's... And so, part of me wonders, in trying to figure out, is it a growth thing of our society or the world or Christianity in general that is going on that we don't, because there's still bestsellers, there's still books that come up, there's still conferences that people are like, hey, yeah, you should go to that one. There's still things like that.
Right.
But I don't really see them being as big as what they were when you and I were growing up. Like Promise Keepers was
Oh yeah.
huge,
Right.
and all of those
Right.
things were like huge. Like
Mm-hmm.
all of those rally things were huge.
Right.
And part of me wonders if it's just the evolution of those kinds of things, of like, Billy Graham started those things, people started figuring out what works, And I mean, so that translated into the next generation of the '90s of like, this is how this works, and so,
Right.
and then the next evolution to that is kind of like a is what we're experiencing now, of just like so many people have figured it out that now nothing can be big because so many people have figured out what works,
Yeah. So,
or how to write a book, or like all of that stuff.
well, so I will say that there are probably the people that wrote books that we read that were like the ones that are like, oh, you got to read this book, and I think now they are people that do content on social media. So like
Mm-hmm.
they don't write a book anymore.
Sure.
They produce content that kids consume, because I mean it really it's really, if you want to reach kids, that's what you do. I mean you're gonna create this content, but I think even still, like even that, they are still doing like short form content, so they're still like, so it's even becoming like, oh, I need to do something that will catch your attention. And so the problem, well, I'm not even want to get into critique, but and then you have churches now, like, so okay, when you and I were in junior high school, well, you I think the churches you went to were probably a little bit more advanced in the whole praise and worship side of things.
My church is pretty big. Yeah.
Than mine. So when I went to church, I grew up in the South with worship wars. When I was the church I went to, my youth pastor / music minister wanted to put a screen in so they could do some praise choruses, and they had like a 3-hour meeting about whether they could even put a screen in and how it was going to cover the cross behind the baptism, and like it was just like, so there it was like a drop down drag out fight. But then you would go, so then you go to like camp, right? And they're like, I could see your love forever, and Lord, I lift your name on high. And you're like, oh my gosh, I just feel so close to God. And then you come back home and you sing hymns, and I love some hymns. There's some hymns that I incorporate into, if I lead worship, I think, let's sing some hymns. Like, so I'm not saying it's just that, but but the only place we could get that worship, and it was like it's like we bottled it away and kept it in summer camp or a weekend retreat or some big event that happened, and it wasn't just like Sunday morning was different and going to, so like there was that. And now I mean, when I got to college, the churches that were growing were the places that were starting to do worship, not quite like summer camp, because you still didn't have the same vibe. You couldn't be as loud. But now you're starting to see guitars and drums and stuff like that. And then another 5 years move forward, and then if you don't have that stuff, people are like, I don't know if I want to come to your church, because it's not like it used to be. So like when I went 2012, when I left camp, came back to Texas to do music, like they still didn't have praise and worship like that. And I was like, you guys missed the boat. Like, if you think bringing me and having me do some worship is suddenly going to, like, everybody's going to go, oh, let's go to church over there. They're doing, like, no, you just go down the road and you can see what these people, they're super far ahead of us already doing worship in a better way than I certainly could do, and the band, the resources we had. And I was like, but you can't just throw it on there and then be like, now, like, well, even then, that was 2012 to 15. It was like, if you didn't have it, like, that was a detriment. People would be like, I don't know if I want to come to your church. Now, we were in a small town, and so you didn't have a whole ton of choices, but some people did choose to drive. And now it's become so, you still had camp, you still had stuff going on, but it became less of this, like, I think even now in going to camp, like going to the church I go to and the quality of worship that we have and how high of quality it is, like going to camp and like seeing some people are seeing things that maybe not as at the same level. Like people are kind of like, this camp just doesn't have it, which is just crazy to think about because when we started, like we were like, oh my gosh, worship songs in camp, like there's no greater thing. And now like, and then on top of that, so throw that in there, that churches are doing it, but like you can access really fantastic bands on Spotify or YouTube to do the music that like we didn't have that. Like
Right.
like I can remember the first time a Christian praise song came on the radio, and I was like, "This is amazing! Oh my gosh!" And then I was like, "Okay, now everything is just a praise song. The radio's trash, and I'm never going to listen to you again." But we didn't have that, and now it's like you can be like, even like speaking. I mean, you can listen to whatever speaker you want to on YouTube, or and be like, "How come you don't speak like this?
Yeah.
How come you're not as good as this guy? This guy entertains me." And so so a lot of that has shifted because it used to be like, yeah, there were moments that we could get away and we got these new, unique experiences. And now I think even camps are kind of shifting to being like the unique experiences that we are presenting are not the worship and word because you may be getting better at home. But it is it's like the one we went through this summer definitely was like experiences of like things you could do, but then also like they dedicated half their staff to leading small groups and like get to know the kids and like walking them through these questions and I think that's where the difference is those going back to relationships because you can, if you want the big band or whatever, you can get that on YouTube, but there's no relationship there. Like you can get great worship on YouTube, but there's no relationship there. So it has shifted, and I think that there are still people who write books, but you just don't see it. And as far as like the culture, I just don't see it as much of people like, oh, you got to read this book, or have you seen this guy?
I'm not even saying that they don't exist, because you know, like John Mark Comer, he's up there, but there's no, or I mean, whatever. Anyway,
Tyler Staton,
Tyler Staton. Or, I mean, all these. There are people that are writing good books. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
What I'm saying is now there are people that have figured out. I just feel like
only good books were written when we were only good books were written when we were in high school. And now we're not. There's no more good books. It's what you know.
Right. Sure. Something like that. No, I'm going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I just would argue that I think people have. I think there's systems that work in whatever venue you're in for success.
Right.
And people have figured that out. And the age that we grew up in was the age that now, if they successfully moved over to YouTube, there's too much competition now.
Yeah.
And so they're one of the old guys.
Right.
And maybe they mentored somebody, but that mentor, because YouTube, Spotify, podcasts, all these things they're so consumable,
right,
that they don't last at all. And so, not that they're, anyway, all of that to get all the way back to maybe full circle of the idea that I think that just feeds into our brains. Even I feel it in me, even as I get older, I don't want to meditate. I don't want to sit and do nothing. I don't want to sit and just listen. I don't want to sit in because my phone, I can listen to somebody that can tell me about what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And so I can type it in and I can say, hey, whoever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tell me what I need to know.
From Piper to Furtick to whoever you want to listen to, tell me what I want to listen to. I mean, this is what I'm thinking about. And then I get their thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And I never actually think about it.
All right.
Hit me with it.
All right. So, yeah. So, and I know you don't like to talk about AI, but I like to think, because the other thing about AI is that you can, not only can you just go and gather those things yourself and just like, you can also ask AI even to be like, oh, tell me what Christianity
I
believes
subbed
about
the
this.
other day.
Yeah.
It was a freshman class.
Oh boy.
It was awesome because they were 100% using AI. And they were also 100% like looking over their shoulders at me and be like, "So you gonna call us on it?" And I am a sub. I don't care. Go ahead and AI those worksheets. That's not gonna help you in the test at all. So
Yeah. So that's another interesting
Anyway.
kind of thing, like, because you can ask, like, because AI doesn't make you smarter. It can kind of correlate, like, kind of break down stuff and give you summaries of stuff. But if you don't know, it's also akin to giving you wrong information. And so, so I think
well, the more complex the question you're asking.
correct. The deeper you get into subject matter expertise, the less helpful it can be.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, that it could just give you a wrong answer, and if you don't know it's the wrong answer, you don't know. And
Right.
so,
Or if you don't know that you're traveling down a certain vein
right,
of thought,
Right.
and there's another vein of thought that goes a different direction.
right.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of doubt, like, sort of, but that is, I think, at least something that I'm hoping future theologians, like, I hope we don't have to deal, like we're too old to have to, like, write the book on how to do with AI and this generation. I'm too old. Maybe you're not. Like, but
How to deal with AI.
but I
I
think
don't care. I just
I know you don't, and that's why I said I'm going to bring it up. But I know you
use
don't.
it. Don't use it. I don't
Yeah.
care. It doesn't matter to me.
But it relates back to what you just said, which is that we don't have to meditate because we can just continually consume.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
so
that's a huge fear of mine, because where I see that going in my camp world is nothing is exciting anymore.
yeah. So what annoys me? Two things. I'll tell you two things about AI that annoy me right now.
Okay.
And I think we'll crash together on this on the camp world. But so there's a commercial for Google AI
Okay.
to be like, you want this phone because if you get this phone, you can use Google AI all the time. And there's this guy, and there's a plant that's clearly in the sunlight, growing towards the sunlight, and he's like, Google AI, this commercial, Google AI. Does my plant hate me? Like, why is it growing towards the window? And Google AI is like, don't worry, it's just trying to get to the sun.
Oh.
I'm just like,
Huh.
really? Is that where, like this is,
Interesting.
you want this to be your representative of, like, why is this, like, something that we should all learn in science? I know that not everybody does. I get it. But you're like, yes, you could ask this question of why is this plant
I mean,
seemingly
hopefully,
growing
most
towards...
of humanity knows that plants will grow towards the sun.
Then why would you use it in a commercial as an example of how nice it is if you use AI? That's what bothers That's why it bothers me, because I agree.
I've
you
never
should
seen that
know.
commercial.
It's on TV.
I did see a commercial. A commercial came on Netflix. I mean, whatever we were watching,
Yeah.
and it was an artist painting a picture, and she used AI to finish her picture. Like, she was like, "What do I do here?" Like, I think that's what she asked. What do I do here? And then it just shows or finishing the picture, and it was just weird.
Yeah, so the commercial starts like this. So, good job who made the commercial, except for I hate AI for this now, so maybe you didn't accomplish what you were going, but hey, I remember your commercial. So the commercial starts off with this guy in the bathroom going, which one is, foundation or clean, something like in this all these products. He's like, which one is this? And Google's like, it's this one right here. And so he's like, boyfriend of the year, because he can find the product that he's supposed to be looking for.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then he asks about the plant, and then he's like, Google, give me tips on my downward dog. And like he's like, you use AI a lot, and it's just like infuriating to be like, we could use AI AI could be used to create it to help solve problems, and yet we're like, what if we didn't know what the foundation was or which bottle that's what people really need is that they need basic information.
Okay, so oh my gosh, so
you hate AI, so let's just establish that.
I don't hate AI.
You're not.
What I see it doing is it's humanity continually trying to fill the void that God put in us.
Yeah.
And sure, AI is great. It's a helpful tool. And yes, we haven't even scratched the surface of how AI can help humanity yet. However, I mean, what you're describing to me and how I see that, not just AI, but just our phones and just how we connect to people in general, how that works is getting replaced, or is replacing what we used to fill with time in the arcade with our friends.
Sure.
Or time on our bikes with our friends. And
Playing out in the yard. Yeah.
I mean,
right.
And so I think I don't necessarily have a problem with AI. I have a problem with technology of today stealing our childhood.
Yeah.
That's what I have a problem with. And so it's AI, it's social media, it's all of those technologies. Because I've met so many kids that do not read anymore and do not want to go outside, and grass is scary, and I don't at that point you have now isolated yourself in an own little bubble, and the only way for me to go in is to get in that bubble and live there for a while.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think that's what scares me most about that
Alright.
whole thing is.
Let me give you my second thing that I hate, and then we can talk more about why.
Second thing you hate. Okay, so
It's
Google commercial is number one thing
Yeah.
that you hate about AI.
Yeah.
All right, that's a pretty low bar, buddy.
Well,
I'm just saying.
If you really want to know what I hate about AI, is
No, I do keep number two. Number two.
We'll go with the true number 3 after, but this is the other commercial. So, so Apple has a commercial.
Okay.
And it's this. I've only seen this one once or twice, so it's a little bit like the Google one. For some reason, it's just filled my things I've watched, like football or whatever. I don't know why.
Sure. Okay.
But the Apple one, there's this guy. He's young. When he's younger, he connects with this James Blunt song. Okay, and you know the James. So you may not know who James Blunt is, but James Blunt sings the song. You're beautiful. It's like you're beautiful.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
beautiful.
Got it.
That's really all the song is.
Right.
So it's like this. So Apple is like, oh, he's growing up. He's moving to a new city. He's like, hey, Gemini, because that's Apple's, I think. I don't actually know. Whatever. They all have a name for whatever their AI
Sure,
is.
whatever.
And so he's like, hey, what can I do? And because he's like, yeah, moved to a new city. What can I do to have fun? And it's like, oh, James Blunt is in concert. You should go listen to him. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. He doesn't actually say that. There's not that much emotion in this commercial. But anyway, he's like, oh, cool. So he goes to the concert. He gets there. And the song that is... I'm so angry. I'm so angry by this. I'm so angry. Shouldn't bother me this much, but it does. The song that's playing is not a James Blunt song. So allegedly he's gone to a James Blunt concert.
Okay.
And the song that's playing is Tal Bachman's Cleopatra. She's So High. Which is the song is like, she's so high,
Oh, yeah.
high above me,
Sure.
she's so lovely.
Right.
That's what's playing. Not James Blunt's song. That's not James Blunt's song at all.
Mm-hmm.
So either A,
I mean, they kind of sound the same.
yeah, if you're AI, so which
may
what
not
makes
do
me
that.
mad, what makes me mad though is like no one heard that and was like, hey guys, these are not by the same artist. Like for continuity's sake, we should do this. Because they had to pay royalties for both. You're gonna play both. Like why not just bring out James Blunt's song that he sang earlier and be like, yeah, now it's at the concert, full circle. What a great thing that AI has connected me with music when I was younger, and now music and I'm in this new city.
Sure.
And instead, AI was like, yeah, so just put this She's So High song in
Well,
there.
he wanted to get to the stage to hear James Blunt.
James
So-
Blunt was on the stage. The video is like of him at the concert,
Oh.
but it's not a James Blunt song.
Well, that's fun. Well, that just shows you how wrong AI can get it.
Yeah, but as humans, and that's why I think that's why I hate. So that's why I dislike AI. For two reasons. One is we fundamentally don't understand data. We don't understand how data works. We don't understand it, and AI doesn't either. Like it can do some amazing things, but it also can go off the rails. And until it stops going off the rails, because one of the things is like, so the assumption would be, just as an example. So I got a degree in data. I had to study AI, so I'm just not angry just for being angry. I have some study.
He's
into
got
it.
reasons.
But one of the things is people are assuming like, well, AI will be unbiased. Like that's a big human problem, right? We have biases. That's just sin has caused us, color of skin has caused us to look differently. And this happens a lot in the judicial system. Judges tend to sentence people with darker color skin harsher, to put harder penalties. Anyway, it happens with human judges. Well, the problem with using AI then to make judgments is that you're plugging in all this data, most of it which is prejudiced, and so when AI spits out its judgments, it also is biased because it's biased by it just concludes what the data concludes. But if you have bias built into the data, then AI is not like, oh, I should correct my bias. It's just like, this is what the data says. And it doesn't, and so people are like, oh, look, an unbiased judgment. AI did this, so there's no bias here. It's like there's no original sin, right? There's no sin in AI, but because AI is,
Ow.
Jim is so angry about AI, you can't even breathe right now. But because humans are programming this, like we still have problems but we tend to think that AI is somehow unbiased, but it's not unbiased. And like even what you're talking about of going down the, we don't know what path, like you don't even realize you're asking AI these questions and AI is like, but the thing about AI is it's also built to answer your make you happy with its answers.
Hmm.
So this is why you have like stories with lawyers who use AI to come up with court cases that AI can't find, and so it just makes one up because it's so desperate to give you an answer you like. It's like, I can't find one, so here's one this is what it would look like if there's one that existed. And then people go and take that and take it to court, and then the other lawyers are like, you're referencing this thing, but it's not a real case. Because AI has been like, yeah, AI didn't tell you this because it doesn't. It just goes, oh, here you go. But behind the scenes, AI has been like, I have to create this. So, yeah. So, sorry, that's my AI aside rant. Going back to, it's a little bit connected with spiritual. I mean, it's something connected. I'll also say that Jeremy did text me. However, he doesn't know he can't see the what would I ever or what would I rather be. What is it called? Man, would you rather prompt that he sent me? Either he's looking for it, so the tension is still there. So we may have a new development.
Got a new development that
we have
no
made
one can
contact.
find it.
We have made contact. It was some question about which nickname you'd rather have, and I can't think of what it was. But when I read it, I was like, oh, Jim's gonna have fun with that because Jim has the mind of a 7th grader, and so one of them was it wasn't risky. It was just a little funny.
Yeah.
So
I got it.
But to circle back around, because I think that I think what you to bring back before the rants on AI is there is that question of how do you help people stop. And there's not really a how-to, I don't think. I think that's you've already firmly stated that. But one of the things that I've been just ruminating on, and somebody, so people do this to me, right? I love it. I appreciate when people will give me something that breaks me, and then I'm like, I have to think about that, and then I think about that, and then I think about that, and until I can kind of come up with my. And so one of the questions, Jim and I talked about this a little bit earlier, but one of the questions that someone asked me, or a phrase that they gave me, is out of the Bible, so it's not profound, they came up with anything, which they don't have to. That's not what I'm saying, but just it's not out of the blue, but it was just and it was, seek first the kingdom of God. And that has been one of the things that I have started just to truly meditate on, to try to figure out what that looks like, because part of me, there's a part of me, and I'll just freely admit it, there's a part of me that feels a little bit silly that I don't have a good answer to when it okay, what does that look like? It's because I think it's one of those things that we say. And it's easy to be like, yeah, seek first the kingdom of God. And you go, check, done. I've sought first the...
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, yeah, how did you do that? And you go, well, I prayed, And because I think that it sounds really good. But one of the things that I'm pushing, or my heart's pushing, brain pushing, is okay, but what does that really, really look like? On the to actually do. How does that on my day to day, not just big picture or as you were talking about earlier, just kind of so far outside you're not even really good for the earth because you're thinking mostly just about this kingdom that's out in another place. But what does that look like for me to seek first the kingdom of God in my day to day experiences? And so. That's where I bring back that what does that mean for you?
Yeah, and I think that means because God is so intimate with us, that means a lot of different things to each one of us. Because if you're, it's like asking somebody, well, are you going to be American today? What does that mean? Yeah, I'm going to be American today. I'm going to exercise my freedom. I'm going to participate in government. I'm going to try and be the best citizen I can. Whatever. And then, so then you flip that question over to the kingdom. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. That's going to look different for me as a 45-year-old man than it is for my junior high kids or my high school kids.
Sure.
And so I think the challenge in that question on a podcast is how do I answer that question in a way that's helpful for the most amount of people. Like, because if you're my 8th grade kid that is really trying to figure out why John is talking about John in the first chapter of John.
Hey, we're all John, okay?
And,
You're John, I'm John,
and then
we're
I
John.
make them act out portions of that, and then they all need to be John because John is going to talk about John, which was a bad call on my part had I missed. But
Look, you're John, you're John, you're John, and you're John.
I mean, he was having a lot of fun with just all the Johns. And so, and I didn't want to let him know that that's not even, anyway. I mean, so how does that mentality seek first the kingdom of heaven? Well, that depends on whether or not he's receptive to it or not. Because if he's just focused on John, it's really hard. I mean, if you're going to stay here, then I don't know how to get you to think deeper right now. And so the question would be, how are you helping somebody around you right now? You know, like, but then some of my kids that get it, that have been, they've studied John already,
Right.
and they go, oh good, we're going through John. Like, those guys, that's a little bit more of an opportunity to say things like, well, you've studied the book. You say that you're following Jesus. What is he saying to you? Because I think in order to participate in the kingdom, we have to be able to listen and hear what God is telling us. And so, just being able to recognize the voice of the Holy Spirit, which is bathed in the fruit of the spirits. I mean, like, that's love, joy, peace, patience, that's where it comes from. Or if you want to use other language, it's that whole idea of kindness and goodness and all of the things that there are no rules, righteousness and
Right.
all of the,
Which against there's no law.
yeah, right. And so if you can, and I think those things guide us to the idea of what's Holy Spirit thoughts and what's Jim thoughts. Because Jim thoughts are really about success and saving face and being right and whatever else. I mean, and maybe some of those are honorable goals and whatever.
Yeah.
But if that's where it's coming from, then maybe I have to dive a little bit deeper and see, okay, is this desire that you're giving me from you or is it from me?
Yeah.
Why do I have this desire? is this thing that I'm trying to pursue, is that for my benefit, or is that for the benefit of the community? Because going all the way back, circling back to Proverbs, the wise and the rich are always helping the community.
Yeah.
That's who God labels as wise and rich.
Right. The good wise, the good rich.
Yeah.
The good wealthy.
I mean,
because there's a difference.
That's true. I mean, it does say the rich fool
Right.
on occasion or whatever.
Right.
But
there are those who, the evil rich. There are those that are, that are. There's a little bit of a, but those that are praised.
The righteous ones, the righteous wealthy, are always looking out for the community.
There's this. Speaking of Numa videos, there's this meme that goes around on the internets these days, the interwebs, as the kids say.
Nope. Haven't said that for years. That's our generation saying that.
Hello, fellow kids.
Those old guys that don't know what the internet is.
So anyway, going around is like everybody thinks about the Roman Empire once a day or every 30 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
Which I don't. So I'm just like not. But I may actually think. I do think about a Numa video about every day because you were talking about like the things you're like those aren't necessarily bad things.
No.
So there's this Numa video.
I do like the new. I'm not saying they're bad. You
Right.
should go watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can find them all on YouTube.
They're on YouTube. I have them on DVD. If you want a copy, I'll send you my copy because I don't have a DVD player in my house, but I do have them on DVD.
You can get them scratched and skipped.
Yes.
You can go halfway through and it'll start playing again.
I'll call myself Blockbuster and I will rent them to you.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but there's a new video, and it's about how good things get in the way of the best things, or can get in the way. And he was telling a story about his son on the beach, and they were collecting shells, and they found like a full sand dollar, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, go grab that sand dollar. Look, that's really cool." And the son was like, "I can't. I have all my shells." And like, so because he was holding on to these things that he had collected along the ways, they were good. They were pretty. They were, nothing wrong with them. But it actually, like, this thing, this sand dollar that you don't get to see, you don't get to hold, it's this once very unique kind of experience. Like, the good actually keeps you from the best. And so even when you're talking about, like, there are good things that may not even be what the Spirit is asking you, like you even have to, like I think that's why Paul is just like, it's all rubbish. Everything I've accomplished, everything I think I have, everything you think about me, everything you whatever title you want to give me, or whatever, it's dung, like it's trash.
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean, I will push on. Because I don't. Let's see. I think that argument is pulled out too much. Paul very specifically is combating an argument against him that points. I mean, I'm not trying to invalidate your
right.
I think you use that well. However,
yes,
there's just an aspect of that portion of Corinthians that he brings that up in a very specific. It's for a very specific purpose in Paul's life to the Corinthians that the Corinthians are dealing with right then.
Yeah.
And so.
But I mean, there is a sense of like.
So I don't know. I mean, what I'm trying to say is I don't know if that's.
If he's so militant against like this is like trash.
Yeah. It's so.
Which is I wouldn't want you to call your good things trash either, but it is at least alerts you to the idea that just because you have a good thought doesn't mean it's a kingdom thought. And I think that's where spiritual maturity comes, because like in infancy, like you're just trying to have good thoughts.
Right.
Like just like with a child, like we want you to crawl. Like
Right.
like if you can crawl,
Well,
we're gonna cheer you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying with the 8th grade. The difference between
Right.
ages is when you're in the 8th grade, you are actually just teaching them behaviors.
Right.
Like that behavior, unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Just period. Don't
Right.
do that.
Right.
And but then when they start getting into high school and they start thinking to themselves and they start reflecting about who they are and who they want to be and what groups do we want to be a part of, and then you can start eking in that question of, hey, have you heard from anybody else in your head? I mean, like, are you listening to the Holy Spirit about what He wants for your life, or are you just making all these decisions? And
Right.
so, it's a very soft thing, I think, and that's kind of what I like about 7th and 8th graders is they're right on that edge of like, some of them are ready, and then others of them are just not.
Right.
They're just squirrely and like their brains are just not. I mean, they just. Well, I'd imagine it's what I was like when I was in 7th and 8th grade, of just like running around full gas pedal, like that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're getting choked up.
I'm getting. I got back from Boundary Waters with a cough, and it just won't go away. Ugh. So,
Man, this is off the topic. We'll come back. I think this may have been the quest. This may have been it, but it may not have been.
oh, you're searching for the Jeremy got
Yeah,
back to you?
yeah. and he couldn't remember.
Oh, you couldn't find the exact thing?
Yeah, but I think I just did, and I don't know if that's the one or not.
No, the update. The live interactions
I know.
with our listeners. Jeremy is
He said he was going to do a deep dive, see if he could find it.
diving deep. He's trying right this moment.
I'll send this to him, see if this was it. I think it was, and I think I remember why I was like, "Oh, Jim's going to have fun with this one."
Well,
He's going to be excited to know that he gets to play a big part of
look
this.
At that. We're waiting for all this silence is due to us trying to figure out this live interaction thing.
We're just not good at it.
So-
Not good at it.
Yeah.
I don't want to use AI. No, I want to send it. How do I? Technology. I am like the oldest young man. I'm just old.
Yeah, you're not a young man anymore, buddy.
I know. I know. Yeah, so I'm sending him a message to confirm if this is the one that I think that he sent me. Because if it is, we'll do it. We'll do it.
All right, there you go. Live interaction.
We'll have.
Being verified
We'll see that
right
that
this
is-
moment.
Yeah, tell me.
So here's a question for you.
Okay.
How, in this past year,
Mm,
with all the hard
mm,
in your life,
yes.
have you seen the kingdom?
Cool. Yeah. Lots of little, constant, small ways. I think there's something to the story in Elijah. It's one of my favorite. Like Elijah's one of my favorite Bible characters, and it's one of my favorite things. Something to the story that Elijah goes through the big stuff. Like he causes it to not rain, and then he has this battle with the prophets of Baal and wins and calls down fire, prays, and God brings down fire from however that. Praising, however, I don't want to oversimplify it, but I am going to, and then gets threatened to be killed by Jezebel, and he runs away, and he's like, God, just kill me, like I'm so tired, like, and so God's like, eat some food, take a nap, let's you go on a journey, and so he takes him to the mountain of God, and while he's there, there's these things that happen. There's this thunderstorm that runs by. There's this firestorm, and God's not in it, and there's and this windstorm, and then there's like this small, quiet voice, and suddenly Elijah jumps up and covers his face because he's like, he knew God's presence was there, and so one of the things that, and we've talked about this before, and this is just my theme for this year, is just learning how to meditate on day by day. Just enough, God. I just need enough, and not just. And honestly, it's not money. I'm not in that place where it's like, I'm not always, but most of the time I'm not being like, God, I just need a little bit more money, or I need food, or it's like those things are kind of taken care of. But like, God, I need direction. I need inspiration. I need a little bit more hope for the day. And one of the coolest things, and one of the things that was really impactful for me was so for the past since January, I've been working with this group called the In Between that we do on Sunday mornings, the 5th and 6th grade. I've just been showing up because it's like they need somebody to be there, and I'm like, I'm a body, I can do it. Didn't really know like whether that was going to be long term or what was going to come of that. And so I've been doing that. I've been doing that for about 6 months, and after about 5 months ish, and one Sunday, this one of the girls that's in there comes up and like hands me this door ornament. It used to be hanging on her door, but the sucker thing lost its suction. But and she's like, hey, I made this for you. And I was like, she was like, I made this. And I was like, oh, she didn't say for you. She was like, I made this. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I was like, I was going to go to hand it back. She was like, no, it's for you. And I was just like, I barely know your name. But like sometime during the week, you had to make a craft, and maybe you're like, your mom was like, this craft can't stay in my house, so you got to give it to somebody.
Enough making this stuff.
Maybe even if that's the circumstance, but to be like, yeah, I'm gonna give this to Paul. Like you're just like, all right, God, fine. Like I see it. I want like reassurances and like mountains to move, and he's just like, yeah, see, you're making a difference, and that wrecked me. Like for a good while of just being like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm where I'm at. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, and like even through all the hard, it was just like, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And even now, and this is something that may fall through, but this is a big question of we talked about make fun of me, with all good spirits that I do have a degree in data, and I'm not really doing anything with that, and there's looks like on a horizon that we're actually getting closer to now, that there's a position that will open up where I work in, an apartment that I work in, that didn't exist when I first felt God kind of leading me to do this, now 13, 14 months ago, wasn't even a possibility, and now it's just kind of sitting there, and it would be beyond any of my dreams of being able to stay in the same company and make some more money and things that are really cool, and so just seeing those small moments of like, here, let me reveal this to you, and then just seeing just being able to be there for certain people where, like, I sat down at a table at work with some coworkers, and I wasn't really involved in the conversation, but one of them kind of looked at me and they were kind of talking about houses, and then that was like, what's God been teaching? And so I was telling what I was like, I'm going through this, Jesus says in the Lord's Supper, give me my daily bread, and what does that mean for me? And then the other thing that I'm going through, and I continue to just somebody asks me, like, I'm just like, well, I also am thinking through like this idea of David and how David holds on so lightly to this idea of like his destiny, his kingship. Like he's like David's anointed a king, and then he goes back to take care of sheep in the field. He kills Goliath. He still isn't king. He's given these times where the whole world would say, David, your enemy is in your hands. Kill your enemy and become king. And David is like, no, I'm not doing that. And like, I don't know that if like just to be heart open, real. Like if you presented that, like if you presented, if for some way there was some opportunity where I could manipulate something, maybe not kill somebody. I don't know if I'm on the kill somebody,
Right.
but if I could do something that might be taking matters into my own hands to get the thing that I want, to get the thing that not even that what I want, but I think that's what God has told me I'm going to be, that I deserve even, and to be like, you know what, I'll get that when God hands it to me. Like I'm not just gonna take it. Like I don't know if I could do that. Like if I'd been the warrior that David was, and killing people wasn't kind of a very foreign thing to me like it is now, I might have been like, yeah, God has granted me my enemy defenseless to me. Obviously he wants me to, and David's like, no, I'm not killing the Lord's anointed. When he wants me to be king, God will make me king. And like how loosely he holds on to that. And then when his son, rebels against him, he's just like, yeah, I'm not going to fight that battle. If I'm not supposed to be king, then God, I'll go live in exile again. I've done it most of my life. And of course, God brings him back. But like, he holds so loosely onto that. And I have a tendency to get caught up into like I want to know the thing that's next. And I want to see like, what is it I'm supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to, what's the big picture? Not just like today, but what's my future supposed to be, and what am I supposed to be doing, and so man, I'm talking a whole lot, but this is the last thing I'll say. So when I was in college, I remember going to a place called Breakaway, which is where Matt Chandler spoke, and another guy led worship back before Matt Chandler was Matt Chandler. But anyway, before he was the guy that everybody can listen. Yeah. So before he was big and pastor of a big church in the Metroplex, he was this college guy that spoke at a college meeting, but he wasn't even speaking. That's just Breakaway. We went to Breakaway. He wasn't speaking, and this guy said, and this is always stuck with me, but it feels like a tension. He said, he tells the story of Jonathan and his armor bearer when Saul is trying to figure out what does God want us to do. Jonathan takes the only sword they have. His armor bearer doesn't even have a sword, and Jonathan's like, "Hey, we're gonna go over to this hill, this fort over here, and if the Philistines say, 'Come up here so we can beat you,' we know God is with us, and we'll go up there and we're gonna whoop them." Yeah. He says, "But if they say way down at the bottom, well, we're just gonna wait at the bottom because I'm not gonna climb the ladder to get killed." And so. They go over there, and the Philistines, of course, are like, "Hey, go up here, you Israelites, dogs!" And so Jonathan run up there and starts killing Philistines, and the armor bearer behind him, hitting him with a shield or a stick or whatever he has, picking up a weapon or whatever, and suddenly there's this commotion, and Saul and all the soldiers are like, "What is going on?" And then they're like, the Philistines are running, they're fleeing because Jonathan, and he's like, "So you see here." And this is the tension that it created, and he probably doesn't. This guy, I don't even know his name. I don't even know if he's still alive because he was old when he was speaking. But he was like, "You see, this is where so many times college students are like, what's next or what's God's will?" And he's like, "But some of you just need to go do something." Like that's what Jonathan does. Just go do something. And so there's a tension that I struggle with because like I want to. I want the Paul experience of like come over here in a dream, but I also have been like, well, am I supposed to be like Jonathan and just go do something, And that's a tension that I struggle with, and so I think my meditating or just thinking about this daily bread kind of thing is the medicine for that. Because I don't think it's that simple, and I don't think it's really the tension God wants us to live in. I think He wants us to live in the moment of what's God's kingdom doing now, and how do I do that? And I think that what I'm learning is how do I produce fruit of the Spirit where I'm at, and plant the seeds so that, to use a spiritual analogy, so that the trees that grow will continue to produce more of that kind of fruit. And learning how to do that. And I'm not saying that I have arrived at that, but I think that like through all the hard Jeremy has responded with, through all the hard, that's kind of where I'm learning. Jeremy has responded. He said it might be this. It does kind of sound familiar, so we're going to go with it.
All right, we're going.
So would you rather...
Here we go. Would you rather... Are we...
Would you rather...
How long have we been going? Are we wrapping this up?
This is 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh, all right.
So we got a little bit of time or something. Or not, I don't know. Would you rather...
I got all night, man. We could go 3 hours tonight. Let's go.
Would
you rather? Here we go.
Would you rather your name be Frick or Chuggins?
Frick or Chuggins? That's funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a hard choice, isn't it?
That is a hard choice.
Chuggins. Hey, Chuggy Chug Chug.
Hey, Chuggins.
What the frick?
What's interesting is, well, whatever. We always relate stuff back to our own lives, but Frick or Chuggins? I remember. So before I answer this question, that sparks a memory of mine in high school. I would tell people that they're from Chumbawambaville.
Okay.
Because Chumbawamba
top thumping
was a band that had a one hit. I think they had only one hit.
Yeah, that's correct.
And so nobody really knew the name Chumbawamba, but I heard it and I like saying it. And so when people did things dumb, I'd be like, "What are you? Are you from Chumbawambaville?"
You Chumbawamba.
No, I wouldn't call him a Chumbawamba.
You're just from Chumbawambaville.
I'd say, "Are you from Chumbawambaville?" Anyway, so Chuggins.
Chuggins or Frick?
Chuggins just kind of reminded me of that.
Frick, clean bill.
Frick.
Chuggins, clean bill. Frick really goes better with clean bill.
Alright.
I mean, you do understand. Like, do people understand, like, Frick for us was the way to not say the F word?
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I remember getting a whole lecture from one of my friends about how to use Frick, and I was like, what are you talking about, man? Like,
I'm not even really allowed to use it. I'm still not allowed. Like, that's still that's still like
it's still too close to the line.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever. I do think I would choose Frick. I think Frick fits me better.
Frickin' Donnie Darko.
I think it's because when I was in high school, I'm trying to remember that conversation because my friend was yelling at me because he was like, "It's not freak, it's Frick." And I was like, I don't care. They're interchangeable, man. You could use either or the other. Like, it doesn't matter.
For some reason, freak is better for me.
Freaking?
Yeah. Instead of saying frickin'.
Yeah.
I feel like frickin' was like a Saturday Night Live thing. I feel like there was somebody on Saturday Night Live that was like, what the friggin' deal or something like that. Just
It does.
It
I do
feels-
remember Saturday Night Live.
feels like very Saturday Night Live.
Friggin'. I feel like that was maybe Chris Farley saying friggin' all the time. Or a lot. Or
Yeah,
for a certain skit.
maybe this van died. Maybe he lived in the van to have a liver.
Friggin' van down by the friggin' No,
Yeah.
I don't really think that was it.
That. I'll have to think about it. I'm sure it'll come to us. But frick, Chuggins.
Chuggins. Oh man.
It sounds like a very unfortunate name.
yeah, it just sounds like you're always the last guy. It just sounds like
you're kind of chubby. You're kind of
maybe a bigger dude. Yeah. Maybe. I think.
like you.
Or you're the dumb drinker.
Yeah.
That can't sip anything. That is just always gone. Like
You're
it's
always racing people. You're
it's
like
always gone.
you're always like, hey, you want to race
First one
milks?
done. First one done.
First one, you want to race milks? We'll see who can get this milk first. You want to drink it? You want to race?
I got it. I got it down.
Chuggins, leave me alone. I don't want to race your milk drinking. Oh, it's-
Chuggins, we know you're the only one on the planet that did a gallon challenge. Just leave it alone.
Frickin' Chuggins, man. I tell ya.
That's funny. Frickin'. That is so far back. Do kids even say frickin'
I
anymore?
don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, if they do, they inherited it from their dad.
Yeah.
Who's our age.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So, never. I won't say that.
Okay.
My daughter
All
listens to this. I was gonna say something.
Okay. We won't. I don't want you to.
I'll
yourself
save
in
it. Maybe
trouble.
it'll come up.
Okay.
Freaking Chubbins.
Oh no! I know where it's from. It's from Austin Powers.
Oh yeah. Which
Can I
is
just-
also just like a giant Saturday
Yeah,
Night
I
Live.
mean it's Michael Myers. Just can I get some freaking bass with some freaking lasers?
Yeah, that's right. Freaking.
That's all I want. It's just some bass with some freaking lasers. That's where that's
Yep,
us.
Austin Powers.
That is where it's in our brains from.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Some lasers. Just want some bass, some lasers. Scotty, want a hug? Huh?
Don't wanna hide. Yeah.
We just take him out back. We'll shoot him. We'll just do it right now. He's like, no, we can't do that. We have to have this elaborate. No, really, we can do it right now. Seth Green, Mike Myers, Dr. Evil. Yes. Mini-Me.
That's true. That's where Mini-Me came
Wow.
up.
So,
It's going back.
so I guess that means I have to take Chuggins if you're going to take Frick.
Yeah, I think I'm going Frick. Frickin'.
It's just no good. I mean, at best, you could go by Chugs. At best. And that's not even
Chuggins.
like you could be like, hey, Chugs.
I mean, the only way that you get that out of respect
Yeah.
is in beer drinking communities
Right.
or long distance running.
Keep it chugging.
I mean,
Keep it chugging. Yeah.
and even then, it's kind of like, I think that guy comes in second a lot.
Oh.
Just go keep up with Chuggins!
Do not let Chuggins beat you. All right, Jeremy, you are a cross country coach. Now you got a new nickname for you.
There you go.
For your runners.
Figure out which runner.
Good old Chuggins.
Frickin' and Chuggins. Would you just
What the frick? Chuggins.
frick?
Oh, that is
Chuggins?
yeah. When
Chuggins, go keep
that
up
is
with
definitely the one that Jeremy sent me, and I looked at that and I was like, this is not gonna work for Jim. Like this is.
I like them both.
I know, but I knew that seventh
there's
grade
a lot of
brain would be like, oh.
there's a lot of things that I'm keeping in my head. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, man, that's a classic. We need more audience interaction. So if you find
Yeah.
a would you rather, let us know. We
send
would
it-
talk about it.
Maybe screenshot it
Yeah.
and then send it to
Yeah.
us so that it doesn't disappear.
Yeah, there is a lady on Instagram that I now follow. Jeremy has directed me to find her and follow her because she does would you rather's all the time. And I did find the question about the goat. Did we talk about this on the podcast, or did we just talk about this? I think did you and I talk about this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Would you rather? Let me see. Would you rather have a small goat appear every time you say your own name, or have your socks scream quietly every time you put them on?
That's funny.
Would you rather have a small goat appear every time you say your own name, or would you rather have your socks
Does
scream?
it appear forever?
Yeah.
Like it's forever yours
I think
now?
that's the rules that they like. Jeremy did this with his class, and that was one of the rules that they like. Yeah, it's yours. Like
Every time you say your name,
you
or
say
every time
you say your own name.
every time I say my own
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, or have your socks scream quietly every time you put them on.
I think I'd claim the socks. That's too fun. That is too fun.
Jim, what are you doing? I'm putting my socks on. You've already put your socks on today. I know, but I'm gonna do it 7 times. It's just what I'm gonna do all day. Put my socks on.
They scream, and it's like coming out your foot until it's like muffled, like so you're like snubbing them.
Just like,
Oh, that would be so fun. That would be fun. I would do the socks every time. I mean,
oh, not again.
the only time people would catch it is if you're like at a beach. You never take your socks off at somebody's house. You take your shoes off at a beach or when you're swimming, and they rarely go back on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But imagine the fun conversation of like,
Oh no, he's putting the shoes back on. No, not again.
your friend is like, "Are your socks screaming?"
Quietly. They are quietly.
Yeah, they scream. They don't like it when I put my foot in there. I'm going full socks.
For some reason, in my brain, your socks sound like Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live. So,
Oh yeah, okay.
which is another flashback that very few
Nice.
people will get.
Way back there. Okay.
But he definitely was also always getting squished, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm getting squished." To even be more obscure, very much remind me of Strong Side.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that's like pretty niche Christian college.
Two Fridays ago, our system went down at work, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, the system's down." I was like, "Would you say the system is down? The system is down?" And they're like, "What? Yes?" And I was like, "I have to show you something." So I sent him the YouTube of the Strong Bad email where he's like, can you write a techno song? And he's like, yeah. So there's always like a beat, so doop 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 doop, and then there's always some like random quote from some science fiction movie. The system is down. The system is down, and then there's a siren. And so it's all going, and then the cheat starts raving, and he's like, the cheat is grounded. So I was like, I said that to them, and not many of them knew who Homestar Runner was, but
Well, that's not a surprise.
but that was I was 22, 21, 22 when that came out, and I remember just the joy, because it would be like one a week, a new one would drop every week, and it would be like just going like watching that or watching the cartoons. I mean, the Easter eggs you could click on. It was a better time for the internet back then.
Yeah. Well, that's because it was. I mean, that was peak college humor.
Yeah,
I mean,
which has not changed for me.
true. I mean,
It's still peak Paul humor.
yeah.
I still like.
I mean, that's. I mean, I guess I'll have to. College. Christian college.
Yeah. True. Clean humor.
Clean
Clean.
college.
Yeah.
humor.
Mm-hmm.
That's like peak.
Mm-hmm.
Does this website still exist? Can you still go to Homestar Runner?
I don't know if you can. I know that you can find all of the e-bells on on YouTube. So
yeah.
you can find all the Strong Bad e-bells on YouTube.
Okay.
So-
Well, there you go, folks. Go watch Strong Bad Emails
Yeah.
because they are funny.
And yeah. And then also I
mean, they're stupid, but they're funny.
I cannot recommend Josh Johnson's comedy specials on Spotify because he has a lot of foul language. But if you want to see good comedy and that'll make you think, Josh Johnson on YouTube, it's mostly profanity free because it's on YouTube.
Oh, sure. He cleans it. Or he
Every Tuesday,
takes clips.
yeah, I guess, or he's kind of maybe evolved. He's. I mean, it would be a lot to edit out if he was constantly like his comedy stuff, his album on Spotify. Every other word's a cuss word, and so it's just very jarring to watch him on YouTube. It would be like meticulous if he was doing that on stage and they had to edit that out. I don't think so. So he has a little that slips in every now and then, but it's not. He's closer to Bargatze than he is to any like Chappelle. So
Oh, sure.
on the YouTube YouTube channel. His comedy specials on Spotify are full of just
Sure.
so. But his
He
every
is
Tuesday
funny.
night he has
I
one.
have listened to him. He is funny.
This last Tuesday night he was telling the story, and this is where he got me because he's telling this story about hiking, and I'm 100% with him that it's like terrible, and he gets to the top and he's like, and this turtle is running really fast at me, and so we had to run away, and.
What?
So you have to watch it, but he never explained. He's like, so they get down. He's with his friends. They get like down, down from the side of the hill, and they're like, that wasn't a turtle. And he's like, well, I saw it first, and I'm saying it's a turtle, but I do want to know what it was, like, because it was running too fast, as the way he described it, to be an actual turtle. But he was like, no, it's a turtle. And so, and then he was telling this story, and I think it's a fake story, but. Like now, I'm invested about how this mom picks up the husband of her daughter so he can surprise her with like a picnic, and they're on speakerphone, but the mom doesn't tell the daughter that she's on speakerphone, and the mom's like trying to play it up like, oh, have you talked to your husband? And the daughter's all like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not, I should be more excited he's coming home, but I guess that's good. I haven't talked to him, and I don't know, I just don't really know if I really love him anymore. And like the husband's on listening to this, and then and she's like, I don't know, maybe you felt this way with dad, and like maybe we just need to get a divorce, and then the mom has to be like, oh honey, I actually your husband's here with me, and
listening to this right
she's
now.
and she's like, well, what do you think? Do you think we should get it like? But he doesn't. may have to go back to this, but he doesn't like finish the story. I'm like, did they get a divorce? Like, what happened? Like, what happened in your fake story that you're making up to
Oh, sure.
to make your point about speakerphones? Like, I need closure, man. Like, you can't just tell me a
Can't
story
just
about
end the story.
these people. Like, did
Mm.
they reconcile? Like, what?
That's funny.
So, but he it's a very this
You
one
get
is
invested with things way faster than I do. I
yeah.
would forget about that in all of a half a second.
Yeah, but now I'm like, I just need to know.
Now you gotta know.
I just
Now.
need to know what happened
Yeah.
with Mark and Rachel or whatever her name was.
Sure.
That did they work it out? I mean, he was doing this whole surprise picnic thing for her, and like that's pretty cool. Like that feels like maybe he had some things going for him, but maybe she was too far gone. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the end of the story, and it's his fault.
It
And
is.
so
So your comedian is now your. See, that's the thing about addictions. See, they become their masters really fast.
so
You were in control, and now you just lost it.
yeah.
You just lost
But
it.
anyway, he
Now-
has stuff that comes out every Tuesday, and
Yeah, he's a good
I
comic.
appreciate his the stuff he has on YouTube, the things that he did that are hour long usually, is actually is like a cross between telling stories, telling jokes, and also like having some very pointed things to say. And he has a lot of good things to say. So check him out. I think I think most people who listen to our podcast would probably also enjoy him a little bit. You may not always like his political views. I'm not saying I agree with everything he says, but he does tell good stories, and he's funny, and he makes good points about how we should love each other, and which I'm not even sure where he's at on the spectrum of. I'm not sure he believes in God, but
Yeah.
he does get it on some of those levels.
Sure.
So
Yeah, it is interesting to see how. I think that's another challenging aspect of living in the kingdom
yeah,
is God says they're going to know us by our love, right? And
Yeah.
so that's one of those hard aspects of the kingdom of what does that mean?
yeah.
Because,
What if somebody who doesn't know God's good at loving?
yeah, I mean, we meet people all the time that, I mean, we had a neighbor, Bob, out at camp. He was a great
Servant,
I mean,
servant's heart.
you couldn't ask for a better neighbor.
Yeah,
But I don't know if he knew Jesus.
right. Yeah,
And so it would, I think he served for that period. I mean, he still, even as a memory, serves as a guy that allows me to understand that I like to complicate living out the kingdom of God. I like to say, well, they're not in my circle, so I don't have to do it. Or I like to say, well, that circle needs tough love. And I don't know. I think people that are just really generous and able to give themselves up are just examples, even if they don't believe in Jesus.
yeah,
Like, it's just another example of being like, okay, not that I'm trying to outdo him, but can I outdo him? Like,
right.
I have the God
The Holy Spirit, empowering you.
empowering me to love him like Christ loved me,
Yeah,
and he seems to be doing a better job.
he's out loving. He's out loving me.
Yeah.
Like it's not a
So-
competition, but I gotta win.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's just that weird,
Yeah.
like, that's what a mentor is. Like, and that's an aspect of what a mentor is somebody that you're like,
This pushes me to be
I'm gonna be better.
right.
Going to be better.
Yeah. 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 Well, we are approaching 2 hours and 30 minutes. I don't remember how long we do this for. This feels pretty long.
I don't care. I didn't come with any preparations.
Oh, well.
I feel like that's a challenge. Next month I
Okay,
will.
okay.
And maybe we can hit 4 hours.
Okay.
Because if you came prepared,
Yeah. Well.
if you, and
Yeah.
then next month I also come prepared.
Okay. 4 hours.
Then we got 4 hour conversation going on.
Okay.
Which
I like it.
we might need some food midway through that.
Yeah.
Of course, we always get food. I mean, lately we got cake.
I don't know. We could start earlier
And we
because
got
that's the other
butt
thing.
muffins
Like it's
earlier.
Yeah, butt cakes.
Butt cakes.
Butt cakes. Frick, you gotta calm down. I mean, should we change? Here's the question: should we change the podcast to Frickin' Chuggins?
Frick and Chuggins.
Hey, welcome once again to the Frickin' Chuggins.
This is the Frickin'
Chuggins show.
I don't know. We'd have to get more exciting.
I told a story today that's probably reflects poorly on me, but I think it's about DJs, and we're talking about like morning DJs and how they're annoying, how we don't like listen to the radio in the morning because DJs just are too cheerful and overly like but I definitely do that to Callie. Like if I'm awake, like I'm not usually like oh, it's morning, but if Callie is also like having a slow morning, I'll be like, time to get up. It's rise and shine time.
Oh, you turn into the annoying phone guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is terrible. But that's what I do.
I go the opposite direction. I am. Do not talk to me. Do not touch me. Why are we doing anything until I can finish my first cup of coffee? And I'm well into my second cup of coffee.
Speaking of addictions, yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we all have them. We just gotta find them. The fun thing about addictions is there's always another one that you can find.
It's true. That is true. That is so very true. But, all right, Frick. Well, I'm going to call it. We've got 2.5 hours.
All right.
And I think that may be it for this week. Next month, which starts tomorrow, our Wednesday.
Oh, hey, we squeaked this one in then.
Yeah, we just barely got a September one in.
All right.
So we'll need to do a Halloween one. Oh, man. A Halloween episode? Like a seasonal episode? We could like...
Oh, yeah, that'd
really,
be kind of fun.
Really,
Ooh, we got a theme already then.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We got some planning to do.
Would you rather
Okay.
be genuinely terrified every time you open up a cabinet?
Ooh,
Just have that moment of
Yeah.
ah!
Sure terror.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or every time you get in or out of a vehicle, there's a scream above your head.
Oh man, I like neither one of those.
Yeah, neither one are good.
I don't generally want to be terrified, so that's why I'm like, I hesitate that. But I think that the scream above your head in public is more problematic.
I mean, you get some looks.
What was that? Well, every time I get out of a vehicle, there's a scream of, right? Yeah, sure, buddy. What's going on? I mean, every time I get out of a vehicle, there's a scream of, all right, come on, what do you? So.
Well, you can prove it.
Then then you're just going in and out, and then doing like, what's wrong with you?
It's not me. It's not me.
Like if you.
This is the universe.
If you go halfway out, does it like start and then like if you stop, it's like ah. and then as you keep going, then it'll come up, or is it like
no.
a full screen? if
No,
you
it's
just
like
start going
it's
out?
like a horror movie. Like you gotta get fully out of the car,
Okay.
and
and then it'll stop,
then
or it just start. It just keeps
it's just a quick
like if you get
scream.
stuck halfway in between, it's just like
Yeah.
"Wah!" the whole time.
No, it's not a keep going
Oh,
thing. It's
oh,
like
yeah. It's just the
as soon as you step out of the car and
There's
you
just
stand up or whatever,
there's just a scream.
it's like something is on your car or on the vehicle that you're getting out of,
ah man,
and it's just screaming at you. It just screams once, just one
Yeah.
scream.
yeah, that one. I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay. All right. So to combat the every time I go in a cabinet I'm terrified,
Mm-hmm.
I'm ripping all the cabinet doors off of my house.
Yeah, but you still have to be terrified. Like you just reach inside the cabinet, like
No, every time you open a cabinet door.
yeah, but then they're always open. You've just permanently opened the cabinet door. You are always terrified.
All right, fine. There's not really a good
I mean,
solution to it. It's just
we could
always
Dukes
been
of Hazard the
terrified.
car too, I guess. If we're, but
Yeah.
getting out of it
You're
is still getting out
going.
of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're always just terrified.
Just that moment of terror.
What's wrong with Jim? Oh, he took all the cabinet doors off. Now he's constantly
I mean,
terrified.
I have found that, especially since I've started wearing earbuds around camp
Yeah.
more and more, that it is really easy to scare me now. Because I will just turn around and go, oh, jeez, you're there. Okay.
Remember when I learned that you didn't like to be terrified? This is when we learned a lot about ourselves. Was when we were in our first ever escape room, and we went in, and it was like, all right, everybody's getting handcuffs, and so except for one, and so Tyler was like, well, I'm not getting handcuffed. And so I was like, I don't care, whatever. I've never been handcuffed, but whatever, whatever. So and then we all get into handcuffs, and then Tyler's like, I've changed my mind. I would prefer not, because it was like, I'm going to take you in one at a time, and he was like, I want to be handcuffed. It's like, it's too late for that.
Right.
But that was, that was, but it was like, and then they told us, the only time ever, this is that one time, that one escape room, and I've done hundreds, literally. This was the only one where they're like, you cannot talk, and if you talk, we will kick you out. That was like what they told us, right? That
that's right.
and which I've never experienced
not
since.
the whole time.
Just up
Just
to
for
yeah,
a point.
up
We
to
had
a
to-
point. But
we
they
had
were
to get
very
us out or
adamant that like
something.
if you talk. And yeah, once you get the key to the, I think once you got the key to the handcuffs and got out of that, then you could talk. But he's like, if you talk, we will kick you out and we will not refund, like right then and there. And so, so we're not talking. Jim is working on this puzzle next to the door that goes out, and it's nobody's talking. There's this creepy music going on, like with like low screams going on in the background because we're in the basement of the butcher, and somebody from the outside comes along, one of the workers, and like bangs on the door right next to where Jim's working.
And we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
We all knew. I also knew it was going to happen. But I also was like, this puzzle has to get done.
Yeah.
And I hate being scared. And this is going to happen. It was...
And you screamed,
And so...
and all of us are like, "Whoa, talk! She's got to get kicked out!" Like, because we are such good friends,
Yeah.
And that moment, and then also, this moment where we went into one of the fourth rooms, and there was a shower curtain, and behind the shower curtain was a mannequin. And I looked behind the shower curtain, I saw the mannequin, and I was just like, there's nothing useful here. And so I walked away. And so Graham came behind, looks back there and sees the mannequin and almost punches it. Like, he just, like two very different
That's true.
reactions to,
Yeah.
and does it, and like forgets it's there and then almost punches it again. Because he's just so, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in this, but
Yeah. That one was funny.
yeah.
And that was, the whole time I was doing that puzzle, I was like, get this puzzle done because somebody's knocking on that door. Somebody's going to bang on that door. And I built it up in my head, and that's probably why I screamed, because I built it up so big in my head that it was like, there it is. Like, anyway.
The best part of that was when we were getting towards the end and we thought we were going to solve the room, and we get this camera bag.
We were so far off.
That comes from the ceiling, and they're like, "Get the key, because we thought that the exit was this door that had a key to it, and we're like, "Get the key, where's the key?" And in the camera bag was this rubber tongue with a number on it.
That we failed to pick out of all those dead bodies because none of us really thought about, like,
We found 2 of 4.
hey, let's search the dead bodies.
We found 2 of 4.
Yeah.
And that was what we were like. We needed 4 of them, and we had to figure out to move this whole section of lockers. And there was a keypad for a door. We were so far away, but we were so like, we're gonna get out.
Yeah,
We'll get the key.
we
get
were
the key.
so far
and then
away.
the time
The
expired.
guy came in and he
Yeah.
was like, well, I mean, sure, you were close.
You were so far away. He's like, did you notice the tongue upstairs in the skeleton? Not at all.
No.
And I never went upstairs, so I can at least
I did go upstairs.
I can at least
And what I
claim-
remember about being upstairs is Tyler telling me to flip switches for like 1,000,000 years.
What I remember about that is
And I also remember hearing from the basement
what I
where we
remember.
should have gone that the door was open and we didn't have to flip any more switches.
That's what I remember is me
Tyler
going.
kept being like, this one and this one.
That's what I remember is me yelling out, "You did it!" and then going through the door that had magically opened because you guys had finished,
Yeah,
and you guys were still up there.
yeah. We
Just
just hung
flipping
out
switches.
there, flipping switches with the skeleton and the other dead body.
And the tongue that we needed to
And the
get out of
tongue.
the room, but we didn't know. And there was, but that was when, and this is, I will say this about how escape rooms have evolved over the past 7 years. That was back when escape rooms really were like, we're gonna beat you. Like, you're not gonna get out of here. Like, you were gonna be challenged, and that has changed so much because people don't want to be like frustrated. They want to be challenged a little bit, but they also want to be like, yeah, we did the room, because they're not coming back. Like,
Right.
like the dream when they first started escape rooms was like, we're gonna make it so hard that people are gonna like, yeah, give me another crack at this. I will pay another $40 or $20 to go at this room again. And so they were made it, and then but they realized people were like, I didn't have fun. Like I was challenged, but I'm not enough to pay more money to be to continue to be
Right. I don't
frustrated
wanna
by
do
this
that
room.
again. Yeah.
So it changed a lot to being much more like, we're gonna hold your hand and get you out of here. But that took a while. I mean, that was over like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
But that one was very much that one had started you and I's distaste for the directional lock, because
Oh yeah.
The
we
guy was
did that
like-
stupid lock so many stupid times.
we did it right, and the guy was
So
like, yeah,
many
sometimes
times.
it just doesn't work. And I'm like, well then,
Yeah.
get a better lock.
Yeah. Yeah. That was.
Oh, so man.
And
Mm.
it took him so long to tell us that. Like,
Right.
I
Right.
know every single one of us said up, down. I mean, whatever the right combination was. And he just let all of us try it. Every single one of us. And then finally he was like, sometimes it just doesn't work. You're like, whoa, I don't. What? Did he come in and open it for us? Or how did
I think
how
he
did we
gave
get
us the clue
that got us around
that got us around it.
around it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't remember him coming in the room until the end.
Yeah. No, he did. He gave us the clue around it. But it didn't matter because we were so lost that it was that, like, we was our first off, I mean, it was our first ever escape room experience.
Yeah.
So we didn't know what we were doing. And we
Also, credit to Tyler to booking a room that he was like, I don't even think they had the right date. I think
No.
Tyler had to convince him that we were supposed to be there.
Yeah. He had booked the kitty room. There was some like cat room that we were supposed to go to, and they're like, well, the one we have available right now is the basement butcher. And we're like, okay.
That sounds fun.
I was like, I don't care. Because I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Escape room memories.
Yeah, it was cool. I
Really
mean,
good.
I definitely was hooked from that point forward.
I mean, they did a good job.
Yeah, it was challenging. There's still a puzzle that
That one puzzle on the wall that
Yeah.
we had no idea
yeah
how that worked.
was like because you had to form words with it's like a word puzzle with like but it wasn't kind of like a crossword, but it had a grid.
Yeah.
Just like I think I probably could have sat and worked on that puzzle the whole time and still barely figured it out. So,
Right.
but
yeah, that was a hard one.
yeah, we just now like there's some certain advantages to seeing all the things that I do. I still go to escape rooms and see things that I haven't seen before that I'm like, oh, that's neat.
Hmm.
It's usually like one or two puzzles. Most of the if there's 10 puzzles in there, I probably have seen some variation or understand what that puzzle is going to do
Hmm.
before just by looking at it. Of course, you and I have built them, so
Yeah.
we've got a little insight into that. But there's usually every room I go to, there's usually a puzzle that I'm like, oh, that's neat, that's new. I hadn't thought of that one. Like when we went to Pennsylvania, Callie and I, my family, we did a Escape the 80s, and they had a ET finger, and you had to heat up you had to use a hairdryer to heat up the end of the finger to reveal there was a number, and so it had like you just had to stand there and hold it until it basically heated the glue or whatever it was that revealed the number.
Mm.
So, which was not something that I had done.
That's cool.
I thought it was like just touch it, and it's because it was ET, and I was like, okay, so I was just touching the spot. And apparently, I'm not hot. I'm not as hot as a hairdryer.
That's not, not the
so
heat it needed, huh?
yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Escape rooms are
Um,
still fun every once in a while.
yeah.
That's cool.
So, all right. Well, that was
Down memory
bonus.
lane with Paul and Jim.
Man, bonus time with
There you go.
screaming cabinets and screaming doors and screaming cars and
Yeah.
and all that exciting
Well, that was
things.
because Halloween thing.
Yeah.
We got it,
Next week, next month.
Next month.
Next
Halloween.
month. Maybe
we'll
next week. Who knows? We'll.
have a theme of Halloween. We'll all be wearing orange
Ooh.
and black. That's the right colors? I don't know.
Yeah, I think orange and black is correct.
All right.
Correct. All right. Frick, signing off.
All right.
This is Chuggins.
Chuggins. Frickin' Chuggins. Signing off.
Hey, you've just
It's
listened to
good
the
to be
Frickin' Chuggins show.
Maybe that's what the Frickin'
Listen-
Chuggins show is.
Listen to wherever you listen to quality podcast. The Frickin' Chuggins show.
All right.
Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
Frick. Oh, thank you guys for listening. Check us out next month.